Good morning, Source
Good morning.
Gamers. It is May 3rd, the day before May the 4th be with you.
And if you can believe it,
Mm-hmm.
it's a Sunday.
Yeah. Is that weird how that works?
Yeah. The hell's going on there?
Yeah. Now, who put that
Oh,
together?
who did that?
Good morning, everyone. It's been a
Morning.
while since
Yeah.
episode 107. We are at episode 108 of Good Morning Source Gaming.
Yippee!
I'm Fauna, and with me I have.
It's me. It's Colin. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wowie zowie.
And we're gonna be talking about how long ago did this movie come out? April 12th? No, April 1st, wasn't it? Actually,
Yeah. It came out
yeah,
on Saint April's Fools.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably intentional, I guess.
I
Uh,
suppose so. But before we get to that, we
yeah.
have to
Far
do
before we get to that
our lovely
ritual.
atypical what we've been playing recently.
Yes, we do.
And we've both been playing Pragmata,
Yeah.
so I assume we'll talk about a couple other things before we both talk about Pragmata for a little bit.
Yes. Do you want to go
I guess
first?
I'll take the reins here because I've also been playing Mouse PI for Hire,
Ooh, what
which
you
is
think?
the it's so there are so many ways to describe it. It is a detective boomer shooter with
Mm-hmm.
a very obvious tip of the hat to specifically like very old like Mickey Mouse cartoons. Steamboat Willie is the obvious like we're going that far back, but it's just sort of like generally kind of homaging like early Fleischer, early Disney, of iWorks kind of stuff. Um, and it's also like a BioShock, I guess, which is something I didn't expect. And so far, it is cool. It is good. I like it.
Okay.
Um, uh, I've been playing it on the Switch too. I've been playing it with mouse mode because it's
Oh.
one of 5 games on the platform to support mouse mode, which is like it's starting to really piss me off how inconsistent
Yeah.
like how inconsistent it is. It's like Bethesda games don't have it, Capcom games don't have it, but all these indies, like all these
They see the potential.
I guess Mouse isn't indie, but it's like, the System Shock remake has it and Total Chaos has it and the Blood remaster that's coming out in a couple weeks has it and Mouse PI for Hire has it and
Mm-hmm.
it's I'd like to see more games with mouse mode.
About to get
But
another one that doesn't have mouse mode.
true. Um, we're getting so many. But yeah, I am enjoying it. As I said before, it's like a it's like a detective game, but it really plays more like even though like the story and aesthetics are of that of a noir, there's even like a hub world you go to in between levels to like go to like a pin board and
That's cute.
like set up evidence and everything that you find along the way, but it does feel like all of that takes a back seat to just some good old fashioned running and gunning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite good at that. It's maybe a little too good at it. I'm like, I know it's a long game. I want to say I'm about my Switch is over there. Hang on, let me use the patented Nintendo Switch.
Has it been 10
What is it?
days?
What is it? The shop app that tells you your playtime?
No, no. It's you go to your profile. You go to your profile at the top right, at the top left corner, and then it loads all the games that you
No, but I don't
played.
have my Switch in front of me. That's
Oh, oh
the
yeah. Then you go to
yeah
the
play
Nintendo. So yeah, your
activity.
shop app. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, I gotta open up the Nintendo Shop app. Yeah, so I've played over 5 hours of it, and I've already like updated a lot of like upgraded like a lot of my guns to have all these like crazy upgrades and stuff, and it feels a little overkill in a game where enemies are still largely kind of walking at you in a straight line and like punching or shooting you. Like there are some tanky enemies that like the upgrades help on, but
Hmm.
like I don't know, the general gameplay loop is maybe a little more basic than the combat would lead you to believe. But maybe I don't know, maybe I'll be fighting cacodemons in like 6 hours, and I'll be like, oh, that's why the shotgun has like a charge. But aesthetically it's great. I love like the visual look of the game. I like how all the UI elements and like enemy sprites and everything, they're all 2D drawings. They're very smooth, they're very rounded, but then all the environments are rendered in 3D, but it's like specifically meant to look like when some older cartoon, this is like so weird, this is gonna date me like crazy, but like
Oh.
um who remembers Happy Tree Friends?
Oh
They
yeah.
there
I
was
was not for you to
there
say that.
there's
Sure.
a Happy Tree Friends short from, I don't know, 30 years ago, whenever the hell Happy Tree Friends was
Look at that
relevant.
was
And
20 years
they
ago. Well,
yeah,
maybe
it was
like
20 years
13.
ago. It
Yeah.
just feels forever ago. But they did like a throwback old-timey short one time, and all the backgrounds were done digitally but made to look like they were modeled from clay, because
Mm,
there are some older of the era animated shorts where instead of drawing backgrounds, they would just set up like little clay dioramas and just animate the cells over it. But because everything is still 3D rendered and not actually modeled from clay, a la like
right.
South of Midnight or Midnight Walk or something, it does have that very kind of uncanny digital slash analog look, but it looks great. It looks really, really solid. Um and I guess I am excited to play more and see where it goes. But I don't know if I have any more higher praises than that at the moment, not to be like cynical or too critical. It's just like, yeah, I'm having a good time. Drug.
Okay.
And then I've also been playing a little bit of this is fucking silly. The Scarface The World Is Yours video game from the 2000s.
Okay.
If if you don't know the context to this,
Nope.
there's Brian De Palma's remake of Scarface from the 80s starring Al Pacino got a big budget video game sequel in the 2000s for PS2, Xbox, PC. I've been playing the PC version on my deck, and it is fucking wild. It is it's
Wild
like it
awesome.
is it's kind of awesome, but it's also like deeply unhinged. It's like it's so everyone's always like, you couldn't make a game like this today, but I actually don't think you can make a game like this.
Uh-oh.
Just something that is both so um angry and over the top and just like arguably in bad taste. It's so
Oh.
funny how like they're like a lot of people talk about like the death of the movie license game. And usually when people talk about that, they're like, we should have like Sinners for the Switch or something, which I agree. That would be badass. But
That would be
like
funny.
in this in the PS2, Xbox, GameCube gen, they were also doing movie license games for movies that were like significantly older.
Hmm.
So there's a Great Escape PS2 game which sucks, but oh, what a badass concept. It's like perfect to make a little Metal Gear clone out of. Um it's weirdly enough in the same vein as the Scarface game, there's a Fight Club video game, and based on the David Fincher movie, and both like Fight Club and Scarface getting like PS2 era games, especially ones that are like it it's so funny because it's like both of those movies have like sort of a reputation as being like toxic, like red flag bro cinema, even though
Mm,
it's like the movies are ostensibly about how doing all of the things
this is
depicted in the
bad.
movie is bad. Like, and Fight Club is also not even. It's like metaphorically about gay sex. It's not even it's not even
Oh, really?
about yeah, well, we can discuss that another time. But
Okay.
like all I'm saying is I've never heard so much moaning in a fucking fist fight. I've never Tyler Durden is Edward Norton's imaginary like top boyfriend that he really wishes he could be, you know. Great movie. I love Fight Club. But it's so funny how it's like they went to make a video game about it and they're like, "Well, what if you just like are fighting in the Fight Club?" It's just like the most literal direct like, "Oh yeah, we'll just make it a game about street fighting." It's like, I don't what? And like the
Did you get
Scarface
it?
game is like weirdly in the same manner because Scarface the movie, both the De Palma film and the original 1932 movie, is
Mhm.
about like is about guys who just keep sinking themselves lower and lower and lower in in glory of the excess of crime and capital and there's a reason why the phrase "the world is yours" permeates through all these different iterations of Scarface, is because it's it's what the main character is thinking. He's like, I'm gonna take over these fucking cities. But
Ah.
it's so funny because the Scarface game uh is like a weird pseudo sequel where, spoilers for a movie from the 1980s, Scarface dies at the end of
Oh,
Scarface.
wow.
Comes to a fitting end after 3 hours of murdering and doing all sorts of other horrible shit.
I guess the
But
world wasn't his.
what's fun about the Scarface video game is it is it presents the idea of what if he didn't? It's
Oh.
like it puts you right into the shoes of Tony Montana right as he's about to get shot, and the game just allows you to turn around and shoot the guy who kills Tony in the movie. And
Oh.
then it's just business as usual from there. Like, no lessons learned, no moral of the story. It's just like, what if he kept going? Which is like
Uh-huh.
a it's like a great premise for a video game, but it is also just it's so funny. It's just to think of like after going through all that in that movie, he's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to go through that again. Let's let's start selling coke again right away. Um and
Have you learned nothing?
as you wait, what?
Has he learned nothing?
He has no. He's not only learned nothing. He's probably angrier than than he
Oh.
is in the original movie.
That guy tried
There's
to
this
kill me.
whole there's this whole mechanic. I don't know if we want to go through the trouble of like putting a whole video clip um on screen so the viewers at
If it's a
home.
YouTube video, then I can pull
It's
it out of it.
I only have it as like a Discord upload. That's the
That might be more of an issue.
It might be more of an issue, but I'll paraphrase what the video is while I guess you can maybe try to put it up. It's so fucking funny. But there's a
Let's see.
mechanic in this game where so the shooting in Scarface The World Is Yours is actually very similar to like Max Payne shooting, except the difference is that instead of there being a button for like rolling around and dodging and doing flips and slow-mo, instead he has a taunt button, and you are the intended use of this button is to shoot someone dead and then to hit the button so Tony follows up the kill with like, "Go to hell, you motherfucker, cockroach piece of shit." And then what it does is it fills up something called your balls meter, and once you've filled up your balls meter, you can hold down the taunt button and it goes into like a red tinted first person, like uh, infinite ammo. Just like you just start mowing down people left and right while the
Horrible.
guy who plays Tony's like, "Ah!" and just like screaming and shit.
Uh-oh.
And it's crazy. Like it's like he might be the angriest, most vitriolic video game protagonist of all time.
The
Like,
angriest gamer you've ever heard of. Not even a game.
yeah,
The
and
gaming.
I was like asking people, I was like, is there an angrier video game protagonist? And they're like, what about Doom Guy? And I'm like, he's like putting the smackdown on demons. Like it's like a righteous fury. It's like most angry video game protagonists have like some source of their anger, but Tony is just like single focused,
Left
single
nut.
minded. He's like, I'm just gonna kill these fucking losers. he, so and it's like, I know it's a little hard for us to go back and play like games from like 20, 30 years ago and really like deeply truly
Uh,
appreciate
uh, uh, uh,
how
uh,
expensive it is to make these things. But like, I'm just gonna also post in the stream channel here the IMDb cast list, which has like, we got Al Pacino. It's all like archival footage. They have a
mhm.
voice impersonator playing Tony Montana, but it's like Robert Logan, James Wood, Ice-T, Cheech and Chong, Anthony Anderson, Michael York, Ricky Gervais,
What?
Ahmed Best, Jar Jar Binks is in this game, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bam Margera, Daniel Day Kim,
What the heck?
Megan
All in this
Good.
game, actually?
Yeah, yeah, all in this good. All in this game. Fucking Ice-T, Michael Rappaport, like Michael Rooker. It's like there's so many fucking people in this game. Lemmy? It's like holy shit. So it's been absolutely wild going through it. It's just like I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Uh, oh my god.
Anything else you've been playing?
Well, Pragmata, but that's
All right,
that's
gotcha.
we'll get to that. What have you been playing?
So, quite a few things actually. Let me pull up one image because that's one I actually already have an image of. So recently I released an article, kind of. I don't call it a review. I kind of just call it an article because I don't give it a score at the end, but I definitely do talk about the contents of the game, what I like about it, but it's more about the message that I feel from it.
Mm,
Um, and that was Pokemon Pokopia.
yippee.
I was playing that recently, and I, in terms of like a game, I like it. I think it's very interesting to actually see Pokemon basically interacted with in a brand new way that of course like we haven't seen to such a level. Like there's Mystery Dungeon, yes, but I feel like this is more like, oh, you're seeing their day-to-day lives
Hmm.
and in terms of the environment that you establish for them. And not only that, but also think that the way that the Pokemon animated, unless these are just animations that they've always had that I just have not been seeing. I'm pretty sure like these are some of these are like brand new animations, but and also like the color scheme or at least the lighting that they're using. The colors of the Pokemon are a lot more saturated. For instance, like Charmander, the whole Charmander line has never looked that orange to me, but it looks really bright orange, and it's like, wow, that's really nice. Like these Pokemon look wonderful to look at. Um, but yeah, it's like a life sim uh slash adventure game because it does have a story. And progressing through that story is kind of hard when it's like, oh wait, immediately a beam of inspiration has entered my mind, and I want to do this for not just myself but also the Pokemon that are here, because you are essentially reestablishing this entire world that has been laid to waste after a natural disaster has happened of some kind, and part of the game is figuring what that was. It doesn't like immediately tell you that, but it's kind of like if you do enough searching around, like before you really do any sort of progress, you can find that out a lot earlier than um what's it called? I guess then I don't want to say than intended, because the fact that you can roam around in the first place is quite intended. You can do
Mhm.
whatever you want, and then there'll be certain points where it's like, oh, okay, wait, you should do this thing, and then you'll talk to them again. And it's like, oh wait, you already did it. It's like, oh, okay. But sometimes when they'll do it in the conversation, but there's sometimes where it's most of the time it's like, oh, we were expecting you to do this in a certain order. So now talk to the character again, so that way, it could be like, hey, oh, you did this already. Sorry. Yeah, all right, let's go. Um, but yeah, I wrote an article about it. So if you would like to read that, I would like you to read it. You can check it out here. It is in the chat, and after the
Yippee!
stream, you can read it.
Did you ever play Dragon Quest Builders?
No, but I am aware that it is Koei Tecmo who worked on this game, who did Dragon
Okay.
Quest Builders 2. I did not know that at first.
Because
Um,
I played a bit of Dragon Quest Builders, and I know this is meant to be a little similar, but I don't know how similar.
yeah, I don't know how similar either. Because I have no idea what sort of like to what level is Dragon Quest Builders more like Minecraft, unless like a like life sim game.
I guess how story heavy is this? I guess is the best way to put it. Because
Um,
Dragon Quest Builders is like before like Dragon Quest Builders 2 wants you to play through like 10 hours of the campaign before you even think about the idea of playing with friends online.
you can play. I think you can play with friends online. I haven't done it yet because I haven't wanted to, so I haven't necessarily paid too much attention to when I can do it or if I'm able
Mhm.
to do it right now. But I think you can play with friends pretty early, maybe.
Okay.
Um, and at least the idea to go to you can go to dream worlds very early in this game. There is story is a focus of this game. Because some of the crafting elements some of the crafting or like just any of the ditto transformations are tied to story. So for you to make a lot of progress in certain areas, you won't be able to just because of the fact that you have not made progress in the story. But you can still do a lot without doing the story before you end up getting to that point where it's like, okay, I need story. Which is part
Mm.
of why it took me so long to want to talk about this because it's like, oh, there's a I'm so interested in doing what I want to do that the story has essentially taken a backseat to me. But also the story is this, but the premise of the story is very much why I do enjoy the creative aspect as well because of the fact that oh humans are gone. Pokemon honestly kind of a lot of them really miss their humans. They miss the lives that they had. So it's like okay, well, at least with our new lives, let's live a little. Let's make this place look fantastic. Let's build some bridges. Let's set up a farm and stuff like that. So yeah, if and also because you can do some certain things before you even like get to that point in the story, it's like okay, well, you can kind of do story stuff and also not do story stuff at the same time. Um, so that's really yeah,
Mm.
they kind of intertwine in a sense if you happen to do it. If you don't happen to do it, well, then the story has kind of taken a backseat and it's not as prominent. But there also is a lot of um, not in you could say maybe a little bit of environment storytelling because there are still homes here that are like complete that are destroyed and you would have to rebuild them. The Pokemon centers as well, and then there's also a lot of journal entries and photos left around of the people who used to live here. So even when you're not focused on the like the main story of oh let's reset let's completely rehabilitate this area so that way Pokemon can come back. It's also you're learning about the human's perspective through their notes that they left and what they left behind. It's like a good mix, I'd say.
Kind of like Pragmata.
Kind of yeah.
Yes.
The other game that I've been playing. So I can talk about the shorter because I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive again.
Ooh.
2.0 recently came out. So the game has kind of changed in a way where it's like, oh, here's new specials for characters that didn't already have them, but they have them now. Here's some new mechanics. Here's a different way that the game works in terms of like tension system or the like wall breaks and stuff like that. Um, and of course, new character drop, Jam. Next character is Robokai, and I'm going to a tournament on Tuesday. So I've
Whoa.
been practicing as well too. I think it's like my first local. Yeah, well, yeah, it's my first local that I'm ever going to. So
Kick
that
their
would be fun.
ass.
Yeah,
Put them in a body bag.
I hope so. It doesn't seem like there's too many participants. So either they may either be just as skilled as me, which means that I could either win or lose, or they might completely decimate me because most
If
most
you
of the
lose
competition
first
decide not to
round,
show up.
if you lose first round, everyone watching this right now, not the VOD, you don't get nothing,
Oh
you
no.
lazy, but everyone watching right now gets a free soda. That's the
A free soda
on
from
you
who?
from you.
From me? I don't have the money for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have the money for that, but I don't want to pay it for it. Yeah, I will be playing. Actually, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna play. I don't want you to. I don't. If you're in New York, I don't want you training against me. Yeah,
Advanced stream
yeah. You,
sniping.
you don't need to be prepped for me. But yeah, I've been enjoying Guilty Gear Drive 2.0. I'm currently at a hurdle because it's like, oh, I want to get to the next ranking, but I keep every time I was like, oh, I'm in a streak of winning, I end up in a streak of losing, and it's like, oh, why? I'll be trying to do an input, and it's like, oh, you're not gonna get that input. You can't do your overdrive, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this other input. Okay, you can get that. You can get your overdrive now. It's like, what? It's starting to really aggravate me. So after like a whole losing streak, you have to both a mixture of both winning and losing, but enough of a losing streak where I was like, oh, okay, I lost all the progress that I made even the night before. It's like, all right, yeah, I'm putting the game down, and I'll try again today. So that's been fun. Yeah, it's Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear Strive's still great. What else? Pokemon. I've been playing some Pokemon Emerald actually. Um,
Ooh.
since I've if it was obvious. Oh, okay, I guess it's not as obvious because my icon and stuff are still the same. But within my Pokopia article, and then also on particularly when you saw the next roster stream announcements, you saw that the person named Fauna was the one making the announcement of the stream. And I am Fauna. I'm not. I don't go by Fantasy 2 anymore because I've transitioned. So,
No.
because of that, I also was like, okay, well, let me play some games that like I haven't like within this new perspective, and I've been playing Pokemon Emerald, and of course I've been enjoying it because Pokemon Gen 3 Pokemon is the most easily pick up and play Pokemon generation.
I
It is so
that
on
is
like at the back of my memory,
It is
back of
true
my hand.
because I growing up, I had Pokemon Yellow, Crystal, and Ruby. That's
Mm-hmm.
the
Oh.
and that's the one as a child I got the deepest into was
Yeah.
was Ruby.
It's
So it was
quite
very easy.
sorry. Yeah, I played through Pokemon Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire tons of times.
Hmm.
Um, aside from the fact that I had all three, I don't have all three anymore. I don't know where my Sapphire. I don't know where that is. My Ruby, I lost that one. I think I let my cousin
Damn.
borrow it, and he lost it. Um, something like that. Who cares?
That's like
But
$60 lost right there.
yeah, more than $60 at
on
this
the
point. Yeah.
resale market.
Oh gosh. Um, but yeah, I've been. It's been nice going through Pokemon Emerald again with a new perspective, reading all the even like going to read all the NPC dialogue. Then like they say something that's like, oh, when you look in your reflection in the water, what do you see? And it's like, oh, that's what do I see? That's really nice. To get that visual of my mind as like, oh, I'm not seeing who I used to be. I'm now seeing who I am now, who I'm looking to be. So it's just like, oh, this is yeah, I have a new reason to love this game. Uh, so I'm going through that. My Marsh Stomp is currently like I think level 20 or something like that, and I only just beat the first gym because I wanted to waltz on my team so badly, and every single thing that we fought against. So I am pretty over leveled for where I'm at in this game, but that's fine because I was already gonna get through this game easily anyways.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, let me talk about this game because this is also a game that I'm currently playing for review. But it'll be a while before I get to writing a video/article on it. Give me a second if I can get a photo of it. Here we go. Copy image address. How this fits in place.
In a similar vein to you revisiting Emerald, I'll just briefly mention this, but
Mhm.
after years of not having a battery in my 3DS, I finally bought a new battery for my new 3DS.
Oh, it took you so long.
Uh, I just didn't really have a reason to do it. I just
Damn, you don't play your
I
3DS
didn't
that
really.
often?
Uh, not that I not games that I can't play elsewhere or that I really wanted to revisit, but in fact I still actually have a DS Lite kicking that I I just was using that to play DS games for a while, but
Oh, wow.
yeah, I just went to my local retro game store. What a good feeling that is to just walk into like a retro game store with a 3DS in my pocket and just being like, "Hey, do you have the battery for this?" And they're
Did
like,
they have it?
"Maybe. Let's see if this fits." And then they give it to me and I put it in and it works and I
Awesome.
screw it back in and I'm like, "All right, how much was that? 15 bucks? Apple Pay? I'm out of there." You know, like easiest easiest electronic repair I've ever had to deal with ever in my
Yeah.
life. A great argument for why you should just be able to swap out the battery in these things. But now
Mhm.
I'm running into a different issue because apparently all DS and 3DS carts are just dying
Supposedly.
inexplicably. I didn't know about that. That sucks.
This is a thing that was being talked about for at least for there's a few specific games on 3DS where this is a known common issue that has been reported
Yeah.
by people. I haven't had that issue at all with any of my copies of those games, so I'm very lucky. I guess
I guess
maybe, or maybe it'll happen
it's
over time. But
well, it's like it's such a existential issue because it's like, what am I supposed to be looking for? The game not booting up, or is there like some? And like, there's been some people who are like, it'll either not boot up or it will boot up, and then it's like you'll play, but then you'll maybe like you might get to a section where the data is corrupted, which I feel like goes against my own preconceived notions of how like NAND memory works because I know that like if you leave like an SSD unplugged in a drawer for like 10 years it will start to kind of like wither away and kind of lose data, but like once you like if you do like plug it in the nick of time and you like you know the reason it does that is because it's slowly like power is like slowly draining from its RAM and everything, so
mm,
I would think just like leaving the cartridge in for like a few hours, even if you're not playing through the game. Some people say you have to like play through the whole game to make sure that it's like fine, but like I don't know why plugging it in wouldn't just, but I don't know. Technology's fucking weird. And then I know if you have a hacked 3DS, there's a tool you can use to check the health of your cartridge, which is very cool, but the 3DS I put a new battery in was my unmodified new 3DS and not my modified new 2DS, which I haven't. I'm going to put off putting a battery in that longer cuz that's annoying.
mm-hmm.
It's an annoying system to put the battery back in. Holy crap. But I don't know. I guess I'll just play Hotel Dusk until it dies. I really don't know if there's a good solution there that doesn't involve just, you know, hacking your system and playing ROMs anyway, which I know we're not supposed to advocate, but this is what happens when you want to play video games 15 years after they release. You may have to do this crap. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Really doesn't really seem like there's a surefire like this is how your 3DS cartridges will be safe indefinitely. I don't know.
uh, next next game I wanted to talk about real quickly because I haven't put too much time into it, but I have started playing it. Easy Delivery Co. This is a game that we
Mm.
did get a review copy for, so it'll be a while before that review does come out because I am currently playing through. I'm focusing a lot more time on Prime Matter because I expect it to be like a bigger game than this game. Um, I wanted to. I expect that I'm just trying to get the longer kind of still short game out of the way. Um, this is well, as the name kind of is a delivery game. You are a cat truck driver that picks up packages for people in different for either companies or for people, and then you're delivering them to others. and it is completely within like like a snowy tundra. I don't want to say village, but probably just in like maybe city or state. I'm not sure if they say a specific area, location, or name of the place in this game, unless I missed it. Um, and honestly, it's pretty. Something about it is very cozy. Of
Mhm.
course, it's like we're given that its style. It and also does have like a CRT effect, not a filter necessarily, but like a effect in terms of like the curve of the screen. But also, it does have like in its operation, and has like an OS. Like it has an OS UI, which is very strange because that makes me think that either it's the idea is meant to be, oh, this is a this is a video game, so it's like you're playing a video game on like a device, and then Easy Delivery Co is the game. Maybe that's what it's going for, but part of it also feels like a little bit mysterious in that aspect of like,
Mhm.
what does this mean in the greater context of the world? Because the fact that you boot into an OS before you start the game, it makes me think something about the specific world that the game is actually set in that might make something else within it that I might find as I progress through it. Like the cause of that. Um,
Mhm.
but it's like, yeah, you have all these packages. Try your best to drive safely without having the packages spill over. But if you have some of the packages still left on your truck from like the one order and you deliver it, then kind of all the packages will reappear, but you still be penalized. I think in terms of how much you get paid for the job. So it's kind of intended to be like challenging, but also at the same time, its entire environment is very cozy. However, of course, because it's a blizzard out there, you cannot stay out of your car for too long. If like you will see the screen start to freeze over if you're outside your car for too long. So either you have to take a stop by like not fireplace, uh what's it called, fire, when you're at a camp and you have like a bonfire, there you go, a bonfire, and or just staying in your car for warmth. So yeah, that's kind of what I've experienced so far, and I think it's one of those games that I might try to play more at nighttime because that's what it feels like for me. I just really love seeing snow at night, like when it's all settled outside, and then you see like the street lights kind of reflecting off of it, so it still looks bright. Or not even just streetlights, really. It's kind of just the sky. The sky is like kind of like a white, a grayish. So like even though it's nighttime, it still looks like it's kind of daytime too. Um, it's more comforting. So that's probably what I'll try to do with Easy Delivery Co. But I've been enjoying the little that I've played of it so far. I just need to spend more time playing it.
Hell yeah.
Um, and then the last game that we are both about to talk about.
Yes.
Let me see. Oh, let me get a Switch 2 image of this. I don't have any on my computer yet. Oh, I wanted to be fair to what the game actually looks like, which the game actually looks amazing on Switch 2.
I just want to mention I like the aesthetic of Easy Delivery Co., which kind of looks like a 3DS game. like
Kinda, yeah.
I know it's easy to be like oh, it's very pixelated and old looking. It was like a PlayStation 1 game, but it very like if like a lot of indie games on the 3DS had this very kind of like, because it uses a lot of like modern shaders and like lighting techniques and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
while still all being relatively low resolution, kind of lo-fi. So it's cool. I want to see more games to take on that sort of 3DS style of rendering aesthetic. What was that one that came out? Was it a short hike?
A short
Was the
walk.
one that
It
uh
might be a short hike too, actually.
it is a short hike. Yeah,
Yeah.
that has like that's doing like the whole like DS aesthetic. That's great.
Mm.
That's a great looking game.
I'm pretty sure I have that game. I just haven't ever played it. Which that is a game that I do want to. I also do want to play, but I bought it.
There's a
'Cause,
sequel coming, right?
um,
Wasn't there?
I think one already came out. I feel like I do remember that.
Hmm. Could be misremembering. I might be thinking of like Tome.
I know they made that Dev is making a different game called Untitled Paper RPG, but that's like of course not a short hike.
Yeah.
Maybe they aren't doing a sequel. Or maybe there's just other games like that are like it. Because I know what there
Yeah,
was like
maybe.
was it a Gator, little Gator or something like that. Is looks has a similar ish style, but that definitely does lean more kind of like 64 PS1 rather than I guess 3DS type of styling.
Yeah.
Um, but Pragmata
Pragmata.
time.
Hell yeah.
So I
I've been
assume that
excited for
you
this.
are ahead of me in this game, or we might be
Let's
in the
see.
exact same place.
We might be in the same place. I've been taking a little bit of a Pragmata sabbatical.
Mm.
But let me not really. I'm also at the over 5 hours mark
Yeah,
on
me too.
according to my Nintendo eShop app. So
I believe my in-game timer said I'm 9 hours in,
okay.
which is like, granted, part of that is going to be the fact of I was recording gameplay too, so if I needed to do something, I still had the game open. Um, but I mostly have been playing like the 9 hours, I guess it seems. Let me also check my Switch app, see what it says. Uh,
I've been looking forward to this for a while. The demo, I mean like all the marketing was super intriguing,
yes,
super like, oh man, like what even is this game? And then the demo came out and it was like, oh shit, this is a World
over 10
Ends with
hours.
You third person shooter. It's like
Yeah,
it's crazy and it's got a little, but it's also got like a little bit of Dead Space and like a little bit of, a little bit of there was this back and forth before the game came out of whether or not this is like a secret Mega Man game or not. But
yeah.
like it isn't, but like I feel like the reason they played into that is because presentation and also just general like level design wise there is something very kind of old school kind of like harkening back to games like Mega Man, just in terms of like, here's a crazy high concept, we're just gonna drop you in it, go, explore, go crazy,
It's interesting that's the way that you perceive it, because I perceive it kind of like completely differently, in a sense.
okay,
It feels like how Resident Evil is an action game, and but it
right,
also has puzzles in it. But of course, some of those puzzles are based on like cryptic, or it's kind of like, oh, back and forth of get this thing so that we can come back to this area and then make progress and stuff like that.
hmm
But throughout it, you're getting a lot of action. This game skews heavily more, despite it having action, heavily more adventure.
yeah,
Where you are doing puzzles that feel more like maybe like a Zelda game, I guess, or at least how I perceive a Zelda game, since I haven't played too many. But that's the way my brain perceives it, like like a 3D Zelda game, if I had ever played a 3D Zelda game, because especially in
I
the
don't think that's a very good comparison.
I mean, yeah, it's not, but it's like, oh, this is what I think. I can't think of anything else that's like it, because it's like I play JRPGs. So
Well, I have you played The World Ends with You?
yeah, I played The World Ends with You, but that's like The World Ends with You, and even Neo The World Ends with You is nothing like this, because there's a lot of
Yeah,
platforming
yeah.
in this game. There's a lot of, oh, can you get to this use Hugh's boost and his dash to get across these different gaps, not only to get items, but actually potentially to, if you wanted to,
I guess
escape the view of other enemies if it was possible. There's also like kind of like a lot of
I guess to supplement your point, I was watching a Jeff Gersman stream a while
mhm,
ago where someone was like, "What's the best first-person shooter of this generation?" And then they said, My pick would be Resident Evil 8 Village." And he was like, "Well," he was like, "Village is a great game, but I guess is it a first-person shooter? Like it is, but it's not like when you think of like FPS games, like Doom comes to mind before Resident
right,
Evil Village. But that's also sort of like the case with Pragmata here, where it's like it is a third person shooter, but it doesn't like really play like one. Its
right,
interests are in the hacking and puzzles and the platforming and sort of like world building and everything, which is
hmm
spectacular. It's like that's the stuff I would want from a modern, you know, big budget video game release is something that feels both equally familiar, but like you couldn't do something like this on an Xbox 360 either. You know, it's too ambitious and it's too large, and it's got, not that those are bad things. I'm just saying it's like it's taking advantage of all the technologies and advancements in the tech and all the things that we can now have gamers juggle in a game that you just couldn't in something from like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Mm.
And it's got a story that also feels very uh modern and prescient, because it's we're not going to talk about any of the fucking discourse about this game that came out when the game, we're not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to get off the internet. That's
Yeah.
that's the
Very,
takeaway
very
from all
weird
that
people
discourse.
out there.
And if anything, it all feels like a smokescreen for how staunchly anti AI the whole game is. It's this
Maybe I haven't gotten to that point yet. Cause I actually don't feel like it does that in a sense, but or maybe I just have different other questions in mind that make me kind of don't feel that way.
well, so far
Um,
it's like a lot of the critique has been in like the PDAs you pick up and you read, because like the
yeah,
one that the one that like sticks out to me, because the general, if you don't know what Pragmata is about, and I don't blame you for not knowing what it is about from the marketing material, but it's basically about Hugh is part of a uh platoon, I guess, of corporate backed, I guess, like PMCs that get sent to the moon because a big company that has a moon base that's primarily powered by an AI that has access to a big 3D printer where it's able to print whatever it wants. The whole idea is that there's this big complex on the moon run by a Tesla-like corporation, where the whole focus of this company is like, we can do everything with AI. We can print anything with AI. We can make
mhm,
whole worlds from AI and and all that. And clearly the AI is has gone completely fucking haywire and has ruined the base with all sorts of just weird killer robots and geometry and environments that just like don't make sense. And amongst the wreckage, and the rest of his platoon is killed, and amongst the wreckage Hugh
fun.
finds a small android girl who is sort of uh both sort of like a guide to not only this facility, but also is like fully mentally a child. And
Yeah,
so there is sort of a I saw some people say it's a father daughter bond, but I like Aftermath's read where it's like an uncle niece bond, because Hugh is also I like that Hugh casually in the dialogue is not like, oh, my sad backstory. He's like, yep, I was an orphan. I didn't
yeah,
have parents. The world is just like this, I guess. Very like matter of fact. But yeah, like the when you're going through the game, there's all these little there's this one I found like deep into the second area of the game, where it's like this one PDA has like a corporate email that's like, isn't it so awesome that the AI is able to generate all of these wondrous things that we have on Earth with like perfect precision, and we can do anything that we want because the AI can do it for us. And then it's like below that is like a personal email from a guy who's like, yeah, my job here at the moon base is I'm the guy that sits in a room and burns all the
burns.
things
Yeah,
the AI fuck up, and I hate it. I hate my life. It sucks here. And it's like this, it is this like all of these like emails you do find from the totally missing staff are all just like people with these like dead end like facility maintaining jobs, where it's like, yeah, like they're all like, yeah, it's cool that we have all these advances in science, but I'm just mopping the floors for whenever an AI bot spills jam or something. And there's all these people that are like trying to find loopholes on how to leave the moon base and everything, and
yeah.
and they're having deeper and deeper distrust of
The
the
company.
head of corporate running the facility.
There's also people that are like, oh, well, you if well, as you progress through the game, there's like secret files of people that are like infiltrate that try to infiltrate the company, or there's like
Yeah,
in the within the game there are actually secret walls, like they're like basically what's the word? I guess like they're not secret
they're
walls, but
hollow walls. They're like
hollow walls. Yeah,
holograms.
they're hologram walls, and if you get close to it, with the right camera angle, I'll talk about that in a bit actually. Uh, if you get close to it, you can basically go walk through it, and then you get this entire. In some cases, it's like an entire room set up that is like a personal. That is a personal room that this person. I think her name is Sarah. Um, that she is basically kind of moving off of her work, be like, oh, I want to, or even when she does want to work, it's like I want to be alone and do it, or I just want to completely be alone. I'm not gonna do my work right now. I'm gonna do my own type of research and stuff like that. And you get items there, of course, but you get to basically see her progression of the spaces, the different areas that she gets to where she's really not supposed to be. So it's kind of like you kind of even outside of the and she also does take talk about some of the work aspects here of the entire company. The cradle is what the actual the area is called, I believe, in the game. Um, you also get to like just see her talk about, and a lot of other characters too. A lot of, well, not characters, but the notes as well that you find, the journal entries, the emails. You get to see how they talk about the place as like an actual company of like like how this guy tried hitting on me, and I did not really like that, and stuff like that. It's you get to see the company work life that is there of just regular people, rather than it necessarily always being focused on the kind of here's our lives with this new system in hand, which even those are really interesting too, because I think that's part of the part where I'm like, oh, it does do the commentary on, of course, the AI, or like what is real, what isn't, because within one of the first trailer that we ever saw for this game was, I believe, in
They
part we
just smacked down
saw,
to the fake New York City,
yeah, the fake New York City, and in the game that is
which is
the
great.
second area that you get to. uh
Yeah.
and honestly, I when they first showed that off in the trailer, I thought the idea was that, okay, this is going to be a point where you get off the moon, I guess, and but it's actually what's on Earth has now been overrun by whatever this AI is. So now it's like an altered New York. And no, what it actually is that it is a New York, basically Times Square, recreated on the cradle, so that way it feels more like home to these people. And it's like, oh, that's a lot more interesting. But and also the way that it's kind of abstracted across all of the different all of the different, basically whatever the the system Edis, I believe it's called, the Edis system can understand and stuff like that. So it's not perfect. I mean, of course it looks like New York, in terms of like the main Grand Central Times Square area, but it's also, of course, abstracted in a way to still be a video game level. And it works really well. There's another one that is in the next area right afterwards, which I don't know if you've. I know the last time we talked about the game, you said that you were at the third area, and
Yeah, I'm slowly going through the third area, which like two steps into that facility, there's already like these big advertising boards that are like all the trees are grown and maintained via AI. And then it's
mm-hmm,
like, yeah, of course they're crashing through the fucking windows. They're like
yeah,
taking over the facility. There's all this foliage that just doesn't make sense. And it's like yeah, in the AI slopified New York City, it's like there is all these like PDAs of like, wow, this is just like the New York I remember, and yet like signs are being like triple printed on top of each other,
yeah.
and like streets are making like full vertical like turns, and like taxis are being printed into the streets.
And you also get like, what's it? Just building off of that too, but in smaller doses. It's like you can around just across the entire game, you can find. I think it's called REM. I don't remember
Yeah,
what the
or
acronym
limb.
stands for. No, not limb, not limb.
Oh yeah, it's a
That's the
different thing.
That's the limit is like what you get, but the
Yeah,
REM is
that's what
like
they're
the
printing with.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're printing. What they're printing is like, oh, here are these smaller environments that specifically remind me of my home, or like the park, or like here's my TV set, and you could bring them back to Diana, who's the little robot girl's name. Well, she's the Pragmata. Pragmata is actually how it's pronounced. Which, okay, sure. I think it'd be more fun if they had Hugh say Pragmata and Diana said it the right way, so that way I could feel fine saying both. But, um, you can when you go back to the shelter, which is like the hub world. You can give her those rems, and it will display, like, of course, what that rem was. So, like, for instance, a TV set where she'll sit down and watch TV, or a little swing set, or so here's some basketballs and stuff like that, and she'll try to throw a shot, or a slide. And when you find those memories, it's very clear, like, oh yeah, still this is until I get back home, I'll need this, because this is what keeps me comfort while I'm away from my family for however many years. And in that, I felt there was more of like the instance of, yeah, the it's great that we can have these things. It's great that that we can recreate anything that we possibly want. It's also great that I could even have a holographic pet cat. That I don't know if you got into that part actually, so I don't. That's not a spoiler, but it's a emo that you find within the third area.
Yeah, they're setting it up.
Yeah. Here's a holographic pet cat that you have, but you can currently we only have these three fur types available. And it's like, okay, yeah, very clear. It's like the people that work here, they still miss their actual lives, even if they're able to perfectly recreate it. But then there's another part of that same, so all those things that you're finding, where part of it is also, it's fantastic what all this stuff can do. It's we won't really need to have a need for humans to do this work at a point. They'll just find something else to do. And so, like Colin was saying, with the guy who burns the all the things that the printer messes up, he feels completely
Dehumanized.
Dehumanized.
And that stuff, like, and that's the stuff that's like really fascinating. I know this is like basic like entertainment reading 101, but it is like so fascinating that Hugh, the one human character, is depicted as this big chunky dead space, almost dehumanized astronaut monster.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Diana, the one, like, like the core like robot protagonist of the game, who is depicted as very human, like in a very human form.
Yeah.
And it's all been like very fascinating to read into, because obviously I know the big focus that most people have been having on Hugh and Diana's relationship has been oh yeah, it's like he found a daughter, it's like you're raising a child. But like, I think that's only like part of the metaphor, because it's the game is trying to fundamentally understand where creativity, and like not only human creativity, and the joys and benefits of that, but like where that comes from. And it is like, it is putting forth that like AI hallucinating the past and hallucinating these these big environments and everything is not really a true replacement for like making environments for people to grow up in that allow their creativity to flourish. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, it's one thing to be like, oh, I gave Diana crayons and she's drawing, haha. It's like, oh, it's like I'm raising a kid. But like, on the other hand, it's like, even though she herself is an android, even though she herself is an AI, it's like, you are teaching her how to be creative. You
Mm-hmm.
are you are not, you're not just like, generate a picture of me as a hot dog. It's just like, it's like
You use a specific smiley for it.
yeah.
Oh my
And it's like
gosh.
that is where the game is going for. It's like all of this like resilience and like reliance on AI is actually like in a way robbing us of our humanity and creativity if
Hmm.
we're giving up the tools to something that can just print this shit out without thinking about it, without any sort of internal thought. And that's the stuff where I'm like, this game's cool. You know?
Yeah.
It's like that's the stuff where it's like, wow, it's able to balance that, and I'm doing fucking hacking puzzles while shooting things in the head. This
Hmm.
game rocks, you
Yeah.
know?
Like
Like,
I also think like there is a, aside from like the father daughter, which you said that you see it as a uncle niece. I think as you get further
well,
into Area
that's
3, you will
that's
see it as a
aftermath sites read, but I would say
oh
I agree with it.
yeah. I would say that when you get to the, as you get further into the third area, you will probably have your mind changed a little bit as you see, as seeing it as a father daughter thing.
Okay.
Um, I think the also, it's this, I feel like this game also has a conundrum going on where it's like, do you remember, and this was like not even that long ago, but like late last year, maybe like in the fall, when people on social media were like calling robots clankers?
Oh Jesus
And
Christ! Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and which I really hate that because of
Yeah,
making a
yeah.
slur for robots, basically. That is very much, of course, related to a different word. Um, and the mindset, I remember having a conversation with some friends about that, and it's like, hey, if we got to a future where we actually did have like androids, robots that lived with us, are you really gonna just be, are you really gonna be mean to them if it's the case? Like, are you, or are you just not, or would you, what, rather than being mean to, of course, the people that programmed them into a way where like if they're hurting people or not? Like, this is not something that it chose to do, it was made to do. So, and when I look back, when I look at Pragmata, when you give Diana those crayons, like you said, you never tell her what to draw. She completely goes freely of her own will and says, "Hey, Hugh, I have something for you." She makes these completely on her own. There is so
Yeah.
she, which is like, she's a completely free thinking android, android and AI, which also means that hey, she can do what she wants. She is very much like a child because she talks like a child. She moves around like a child. Oh, this cat, here's this cat. I'm gonna go chase this cat, and then I almost accidentally fall off a building. um, and then he was like, "Whoa, please be careful. Come on." Where like, you know, if she, for her completely self-thinking Android with AI capabilities, with as an AI, you would think that she has the wherewithal to do that because she's immensely smart as well. But no, she very much still acts like a child. She asks all these questions like, "Hey, what is this? Why is it so important that humans need to eat 3 times a day?" And he was like, "Well, it's not just that. It's also about who you're eating with. What makes it so special." And I think it's also the fact of, yes, father daughter in a sense, but also here is a child is going to completely be, even despite being an AI, is completely constantly thinking and also wondering and questioning the world. And Hugh, as probably like a 40 to 50 year old guy, is somebody that needs to then, he's not yet like, there'll be certain moments where he says something about his life, the fact that, oh yeah, I was an orphan, um or this is, I remember, you know, how with my mother I would eat like, or I don't remember if he says mother or father specifically, within his orphan family, but if he just says that, oh, I'd eat down and eat with them, stuff like that. There's also some point where he says like, oh, so these, I think he says like these things have like a soul or something, that that makes things different between like why. Oh, no, actually, it's a conversation where it's like, hey, you have to understand that you can't just replace, like when you talk to Diana in the shelter, she was like, I'll don't worry, your teammate that died, I'll replace them to to full efficiency. And then he was like, no, Diana, you can't do that. That was a living person who had people that loved them. You like, you can't replace a person. And there's something about a it's basically at the, I don't know if dichotomy is the word because I barely ever use that word, but dichotomy, sorry, of constantly open and fully like vulnerable with their words child, but and a guy that needs to open up.
Right.
um it's kind of like Bobby and Hank Hill. That's
Making all sorts of adult animation references
yeah,
today.
that's like when I think of Hugh. Like even though he was not like he was like stuck up or anything like that. It's just that it always takes a while for something specifically to happen for Hank to open up. It
Mhm.
doesn't. It's not like Hugh. You need to really pull for Hugh, but when he says something, it will take the time to really highlight that of what he's saying, and they'll have a back and forth conversation about it, and it is very charming. Just like first of all, their performances are fantastic too. I don't know who their actors are, but their voice work is absolutely great. Um, I really feel their performances when they actually do take even when they're like just talking to each other, like, hey, you need to work on your jokes, Diana. Like things like that. It's like it's so fun to hear them talk, to go back and forth and talk. But it really does feel like, oh, not just father daughter, but also, hey, we're getting Hugh to open up, and you're also beginning to love him as a character, which you and whereas with Diana, you probably already immediately care for her because of the fact that she's a child. She looks like a child. So to wrap back around with why I brought up the whole clanker thing that people were having and like doing last month, a thought that came to my mind was that Diana is able to create all of these drawings of her own free will. She is very much like a person, and hopefully by the end of this game, because I just started within like the fourth area. So it's not like they've really. I haven't really got to a point where it's like, oh, I'm about to close to going back home, or specifically what will happen when I go back home. But the thought that enters my mind is, if they are able to get back home with Diana as well, if both Diana and Hugh are able to make it back home, isn't it going to be weird that Diana can't age?
A little bit, but I think the greater message there is that obviously, like, we can be, generally like anti kind of like generative AI,
Mm-hmm.
and just gonna be one.
Gotcha. While Collins has his minute, but what I'm kind of getting at is that Diana is despite
Sorry
being an
about that.
AI, is a very human character, but of course she can't progress like a human. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it kind of makes you feel bad in the
Well,
back of my
well,
head, where it's like, oh, I
I
wish you
think
could experience like
I
an
think
exact way as a human.
I think what the game is going for is obviously, like, despite taking a very staunch, Gen AI slop
Right.
approach, the message obviously, as so many of these awful tech bros have said, you can't really put the genie back into the bottle. Like, the actual genuine advances in machine learning and processing and all of the actual boring things that come from just advances in programming and software. It's like, we do have to learn to live with those things, and they are useful as tools, but the game is putting forth that we should not use these things as a crutch. They are tools.
Mhm.
And so, like, with Diana, it's taking a very, it's she is an android. She'll always be an android. That's like the thick and thin of it. But the idea is how Hugh interfaces with Diana and allows Diana to learn and you know be helpful and is allowed to be her own being, as
Mhm.
opposed to just, oh yeah, she's the big 3D printer that makes taxis and trees and uh PMC robots that want to kill everyone,
Yeah.
like, it is about also, like, making peace with technology, or at least, like, approaching it from a perspective that isn't just, wow, they can do everything, we don't need humans
Yeah, that
anymore.
they
It's
target that
like,
specifically as well too. It's like,
and it,
uh,
it makes sense to also make her a child to complete this metaphor, because it's like similar to how a child needs a parent to grow and learn. It's
mhm.
like Diana also needs to be taught and needs to learn for herself, as opposed to just like, yeah, just make a taxi.
Yeah. Um, we mostly been talking about the story, like the narrative and the and like environmental storytelling within this game. I don't know if we. I'm granted we talked about the gameplay aspect a little bit. With like it being like a third person shooter, but also it's kind of like, would you really call it that one? It is, but I think I have some qualms. I think. Oh, okay. I think the only issue I really have with this game, well, actually, about two issues I have from
Okay.
the demo. Right,
Mhm.
I love that demo. I think that is one of the best demos that I've played in a long time.
That demo was very cool, and I think it's cool that in the final game you go through that space in a completely different,
Yes, it
like
is.
order and
You go through it
everything.
backwards, basically, kind of in the
Yeah,
demo.
yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, I was so
It's
happy
so
to see that. I was like, oh
convenient.
wait, this is the area for the demo. This is not technically the way that you go about it from the demo is not the way that you go about it in the full game. It is complete. It's like what's forward in that game is backwards in the demo. Um, and like you still get to that boss sequence that's at the end of the demo, but it's complete. Like there's a completely different puzzle and like a completely like there's of course there's more to explore because now you have more goodies to find within that. It's that seeing that happen was really cool. Um, but with the demo also had an aspect of, hey, how fast can you beat it? And there are the training like so within the shelter there are training modules that you can go through that basically
They're
test
like Metal
test your
Gear
specific
VR
skills. Yeah,
missions.
yeah, quite literally Metal Gear VR mission in a sense. And
Mhm.
those challenge how fast can you do it, how like can you like destroy all of these boxes within it, make sure you get all of the enemies within a certain amount of time and all that stuff, or another type of challenges. I kind of wish the game had more asked you to do more skill based stuff, or at least um with the aspect of like, oh, the propaganda demo was timed in the sense that, oh, how fast can you do it, how fast can you complete it. I wish the game had more leeway in you being able to walk over or cross certain environments. It feels like there was a lot of instances where you would want to like climb up something, or at least like that's just like small environment stuff like desk or stuff, and it feels like it kind of doesn't allow for you to really jump over that type of stuff or get past it. um because granted, I mean, yeah, the game it's a linear game, but the movement tick that you can kind of get with the fact that it's, oh, here's your stamina for both your hover and both your dash. I wish it kind of played with that a bit more in terms of in terms of progression, because they utilize it for getting other like lem and like the materials that you need to enhance Diana's hacking abilities, your gun, your in your suit. But I feel like there's not enough within that in terms of how you progress through the game. Like, oh, you could actually not even fight these enemies at all if you happen to completely block the area that they I mean, get past the area that they were within, without ever touching the ground. I wish there was some more stuff like that, but there isn't. And that's like
Feels like the
my
game would
one
be ripe
criticism of the
for
game.
like a, and maybe it does and I just don't know, but it feels like the
Yeah,
game would be ripe for like a time trial new game plus mode, where it's just
yeah,
like, where it's because obviously they do, they want to have their cake and eat it too with like allowing you to explore these areas to your own I mean, I think one of the most interesting mechanics, I guess, of the game is that you do have these like checkpoints. And it was kind of interesting in the demo, you unlock one of them, or you unlock two of them, but it's not really clear what they do. They just kind of seem like checkpoints, but in the final game, it's cool that it's just like you get to one of those bits and you're just like you're allowed to just go back to
Yeah.
the hub world and just kind of like take a breather and upgrade and just kind of like futz about in that area before going back into the level.
Mhm.
So, um yeah, it does feel a little lax, and it doesn't have that
Excuse me.
same, I guess, urgency as the demo,
Yeah.
but I also kinda deeply appreciate it for a game that is, like, having these big,
Right.
like, I don't know if I wanna say open, but, like, they are, like,
They're
quite
big environments.
sizably large video game levels.
That you can find yourself getting lost within them, especially in the third area. That was the point where I was like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of losing track of where, like, what direction is the up that I actually want to go for progression. Or like there's
Yeah.
like three different things that you can do. So like there's like a red door, I believe, in one area. Um, there's the red doors are like super hard challenges where you have to survive like a wave of enemies. In the third area, which is like their terrarium dome or whatever, that was really hard. Uh, the second one that is in there is really hard. So doing there's stuff challenges like that. There's challenges, oh, here's your progress. Oh, and then here's another back way for like this for this other goodie that you would want for to get to then give to Diana. And there's within that specific area, it's like, oh, there's a lot here. Um, so like part of me is like, I kind of don't wish that if you had it to be the case that, oh, speed through stuff. Well, it's not really designed, and also in a sense, to be sped through like that. Um, but that demo gave me a certain mindset that I'm kind of like, I wish the full game had more of that. And if it does have like a new game, go to new game plus, go to this game as fast as you can type of thing, I'd be very happy with that. But there's one other issue I have with this game.
Okay.
Um, and it's not like it's a huge big issue, but it's one that really bothers me. I assume that that's what happens on all platforms, but when you are not turned towards an item or like, if, say for instance, if I'm right next to a treasure chest, he was facing the treasure chest, my camera does not have the treasure chest in focus or all of the treasure chest in focus, you cannot open it.
Yeah, they really want you to be pointed
Yeah.
directly at these things.
And to me, it's like, okay, if I'm trying to like speed run this game, uh I also take the time to actually look at stuff. I can't just like, oh, I'm gonna grab that thing and then be off to the next thing. Because the action of Pragmata is also kind of fast. It's you need
Mhm.
when there's a wave of enemies attacking you, you need to be hacking fast. You can't like you're gonna need that a little bit of time to adjust to the different layouts that each type of enemy has for their hacking patterns. But you still have to then avoid the other enemies that are attacking you or shooting you, that are attacking you close up or trying to shoot you from close range. And then you also need to be aiming. And by the way, I'm also playing this game with gyro controls. I think this game,
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people that are like, pro tip, turn on gyro so you can actually like keep aiming while
yeah,
hacking. It's one of the reasons why I wish
mouse mode.
they still had mouse mode, because it was funny. I played the demo originally on deck and I was like, how the hell does this even work with mouse controls? And then I plugged in a mouse and I was like, oh,
Mm.
that they actually thought of it. It works kind of like a DS stylus, which is like
Ooh, okay.
super intuitive. And I'm like, damn, how did they not include that on the Switch
I don't know.
version?
Yeah.
It could be that maybe some developers just don't have like a way to program being able to switch between analog and mouse controls on the fly in such a
Maybe.
fast Nintendo like manner, but I don't know. I still think it's lame when games don't have it, especially when they're
Yeah.
shooters.
Um, I also think maybe one reason part of why they don't have it is because this game runs at like an handheld, right? It runs at a. Oh, by the way, I love playing this game in handheld. This is mostly the way that I've been playing it. I've been playing it. I if I was playing with a pro controller and playing this game on docked, I think this game would be perfect for a docked situation. In that aspect. But the problem with that is that currently right now I only have like a Power A Pro controller, where that means that there's no gyro in it. I'm pretty sure, and then also I don't think the rumble is like. I haven't played with this in a while because I really only play it for Smash Brothers. I don't even remember if this really has rumble or not, or like an HD type of rumble, which is which would then kind of be like a little bit of a detriment to the experience of the game. So I've mostly been playing this game in handheld with gyro controls. Like you will see if you ever happen to pass by me, I will be sitting at work on my lunch break, tilting my screen up and down, left and right, shooting robots.
I gotta get you like an 8-bit Do Pro 3 or something.
What's that?
It's the cool ass pro controller I use.
Ooh, okay.
I love my 8-bit Do Pro 3.
All right. Send me a link to that later, and I'll check it out.
We should just do a Good Morning Source Gaming that's just us talking about controllers we really like.
Ooh, that would be really fun. Like, we should do that.
look at this. Sorry that none of y'all will be able to see this, but check out this beautiful controller. Legit, check out this sick ass controller I use. I love this thing. The only thing I don't like is that this is the only controller I've ever owned where the buttons shatter. It's like the only. They have these
like a very big oversight.
Yeah. They have these magnetic swappable buttons that are basically just like thin pieces of plastic with a magnet attached to them, and if you go a little too hard, they just shatter into pieces. Jeez. Which is like a huge Achilles heel of this thing. But if you do email 8-bit Do about it, they're just like, we'll send you a bunch of free ones.
Okay, that's good.
I guess it's okay. I wish they would release a variant with just like standard solid non-swappable buttons, but otherwise I love this thing. This is like all timer controller.
I was saying, so I play this game in gyro. What I was trying to say was that I think the reason why they probably don't have mouse mode is that because the game's resolution is kind of it's low, but it's being upscaled. I think if you were playing this tabletop, it would probably be really hard to see actually. From like the gap that you have between yourself and then also maybe not even hard to see, but I guess like say for instance if you're not a person that wears glasses, maybe it just strains your eye enough to see the detail of it when you don't have it like close enough, and because you also need the space for mouse mode. That could be my only thought.
I played the final boss of Chronos: The New Dawn in mouse mode in tabletop, so I just don't know if I can agree there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which like that's like capped at like 30 FPS, and it's like a UE5 game with stutters, so it's like even less ideal performance wise and visually it's a dark ass game than if Pragmata had mouse controls. But as I said, it might just be like a coding thing.
Gotcha. So I play gyro, which helps, but also there's a lot to take in when you're doing both the hacking, aiming at enemies, and like that aspect of the game is very fast paced.
Yeah. Especially once they start throwing in enemies that can also like block certain quadrants, and they have like weird like patterns, or they have like crossed out spaces that if you hit it, like you have to reset the whole hacking minigame all over again. Yeah. It's super hectic, but in a way that's like when you get it done, it's like, damn, my brain feel good.
But like that aspect of the action, I wish was more within that fast pacedness was within the overall game. And I will say at least that there is a aspect of the fourth area that does require you to move a lot more. You really need to be on your toes in that area. So I just kind of but I do still wish that it was kind of like for the whole game where I could be as fast as I wanted to as how fast that I'm not only kind of required to be safe within later parts of the game action wise, but also just, you know, if you're really good at hacking, or if you're really able to see the pattern that fast, within your the pattern or the direction that you can get to the power sign in the hacking mode, then yeah, this is already like a very fast paced game action on too. Like really, if anything, because the hacking is really getting their defenses down, and while it still does damage, you need to hack fast so that way you can then be able to attack them. And of course, the hacking doesn't last forever. It'll close back in. But also at the same time, you can be hacking and dealing damage with them by shooting. You have the capability for both, and also you have the capability to use like, oh, I'm going to use like a stasis net to keep them still, or I'm going to use like a riot blaster to knock them down on the ground, and then have a little bit of leisure within it. Or there's some instances where you have like lasers that drop down that if you set them all within a one area and then you turn that laser on, then they'll all die. So even there are kind of challenges within it to ease the action as well, but a lot of it is also it's all like kind of like a skill of your own timing and also crowd control of the enemies too. Um, I think that's it. I think we're good. Like we're good there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not neither of us have beaten it yet.
Yeah.
So there's not we can't make any like grand like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the best game ever, even though we haven't finished it.
Yeah.
Could end doo doo and we would never know.
Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
really upset because it's been
But
fantastic so far.
I mean, yeah, given what everyone else has said about the game who has seen it, I assume that it's good.
Yeah.
I can't.
So
I'm very excited to play more.
now it's time to get to what this episode is actually about.
Mhm. 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 Uh-huh, yeah,
Oh,
mhm,
gotta change
yep.
the image back. Whoops. This is where is this folder at? Gosh, I really need to organize my Search Gaming work folder. Because over time, the amount of folders I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna put this in here and put this here, and it's like, oh wait, I have to remember where their names are, and it's like, gosh, okay, maybe I need to rethink this. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, right? That's what we came here to talk about, right? I'm probably gonna have
Yeah,
to change the
yeah.
thumbnail of this episode to be like Pragmata and also Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Just have Diana in the crowd.
Yeah, I'll have Diana and Hugh in the crowd. That's what I'll do too.
Yeah, that's all you really need to do.
um, I don't even know where to start because
Yeah, yeah, where do we
it's not like this is a movie that we really need to introduce. We
I
like,
guess well,
but
I guess we can start with the fact that the last time there was a Mario movie, we were a little more timely with the discussion of it with Nan and I doing one, I think literally like the weekend that the movie came out, the first Mario movie.
mhm.
We did a discussion of it. We did not do a very timely discussion of it right away.
No,
For two reasons. One, you're just very busy.
yes,
It happens. Nan is in Germany right now as we speak. So that that
right,
in of itself is why he's not here to talk about this movie. But also, we decided to see it a little bit later than usual, or at least we just didn't see it right away because the
mm.
both of us saw it a week after release in IMAX. And
Yep.
not only did we see it in IMAX, but we saw it at for the real cinema heads out there who know ball. We saw it at the AMC Lincoln Square, which features one of the largest, if not the largest, IMAX screen in the country. It's absolutely
Huge.
massive. It's like 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's like 100 feet wide. It's this giant ass square, which is also very funny to see the Mario movie in because the Mario movie takes zero advantage
Yeah.
of a big square screen. It's all in widescreen. So we were watching a big letterboxed image. But you know, we for a movie that was as divisive. Is that are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to
I
say
don't.
that it's a divisive film? Uh,
Sure, I guess.
we gave it the best shot we could. We saw it on the biggest screen, and even in the run up to this movie, I rewatched not only the 2021 Mario movie, but I also rewatched the 1993 Mario movie. And so I have fully immersed myself in the MCU, the Mario Cinematic Universe. And yeah, I didn't really like Mario Galaxy very
Yeah,
much. I didn't
yeah.
think it was very good,
Neither did I.
frankly.
That's part of like like yeah, I knew we were gonna have to talk about it at a certain point. Was I happy to talk about it? No, because I'm just because really all I can say is what I've said in text already, which is I don't like this movie. Here's exactly the reasons why. And do you it's I don't want you to hear me completely trash on this movie. That
Well, it does
probably a
feel
whole bunch of
like
people like, but also I'm going to completely trash on this movie because I really didn't like it.
I mean, like the the reaction, not only just the critical reaction, but the reaction to the critical reaction has made talking about this movie deeply annoying.
Yeah.
I have seen so many people that I love and I trust and I know they know better. And they
Hmm.
have been posting some head ass shit in response to the critic. I do not want to see another gamer in my life say, "Oh, well the critics are being too mean." It's like I see what y'all post when like one trailer doesn't look that good during a partner showcase. I don't
Hmm.
want to fucking hear it. I don't want to. And also like it is their job. It is a movie critic's job. This whole past month, it's not even just the Mario Galaxy movie, but this whole past month has been people acting really fucking weird about like Rotten Tomato averages and critic scores and people just seeming to fundamentally not understand what the purpose of these reviews and numbers are, which is that you should not take these things whenever anyone is like, I don't listen to reviews. I make my own opinions. It's like good for you. That's the baseline of these. Like you're not special for being like, oh, a review doesn't dictate my opinion because that's not the point of a review.
Yes,
The
informed.
point of a review is to find perspective in differing or maybe even
Gotcha.
similar opinions and, having someone who is well read and watches a ton of movies and, like hearing their perspective and what they have to say and why they do or do not like it. And it's a guide. It's something to look at and refer to. It's not a way of life. You don't have to
Right.
live your life by review scores. They just, like you don't have to agree with the critics, you don't have to disagree with the critics. It's just, can we please be fucking normal about these
Right.
things for the love of God? Even if they, you know, there were some vitriolic reviews. And you know what? They were funny. I think that review of the guy who's like, I was so bored I was stabbing my hand is very funny. I don't know. But that was also kind of one of the reasons why we waited a week to watch it. Not only because it was just the most convenient way, but also just to, let all that die down a little bit so we could go in with slightly kind of fresher, not as aware minds. And yeah, it still didn't really help. It's not really
Yeah, no, not really.
it's not really that good.
Yeah. um, I can't even say what my main criticism of it is because I there's so many things about it I just don't like. Um, and I could immediately go into order of like, oh, the movie starts with Rosalina on her observatory. I don't even I don't even know what it's called. I'll just say observatory. She's reading to her Lumas, and then Aluma talks, and Aluma has a mouth, and Aluma talks, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like that like already you're starting on the worst foot possible. And I'm not saying that because oh Luma shouldn't be talking. That's not like they're like in the original game. I didn't play the original game. I never played Galaxy. I don't care. I really don't care. So my issue is that I don't need Mario Galaxy merchandise is already out before this movie is out. Because of course it is. They don't need to do once you have the trailer ready. And now we know the movie's coming. We already know that the toys can be made because, of course, the designs are already done. It's not like we need to wait unless you're trying to just save for a spoiler or something like that. So the Lumas having mouths are like kind of like the cute little dibbies of the movie. Here is the cute thing that is like a kid, and also a kid would can relate to it, and also they're supposed to be cute. So even if you're not a kid, you can still find enjoyment in this cute thing and purchase it. Sure, okay, whatever. I don't need a Luma to talk to tell me how it's feeling. It is very obvious that if Rosalina gets knocked to a wall in a fight and a Luma's eyes widen, I don't need it to also say, "Oh no, mom." I was like, "No." I've watched Tom and Jerry. Kids still watch Tom and Jerry. Those characters barely, despite the fact that they have mouths and they emote, most of that film is the Lumas do talk in the game for the record. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so they talk, but they don't have mouths. Got it. That's okay. Within them talking in the game, that makes more sense because they're not. I wouldn't expect them to animate literally every sequence with Lumas as like a cutscene where you can just see what they're doing. So my fault there. But within the movie, the fact that they have voices and the fact that they actually just talk in general does bother me because it feels like I'm being told how these characters feel when I could just have that shown to me, and it's like it would work just as well. Like I said with Tom and Jerry, like their actions, their actions, even in it's rare instances where they do talk, or even like there's literally iterations of Tom and Jerry where they talk. There's a reason why those aren't held in high regard as a classic, because the
Well,
what's been established already is how they interact with has allowed for the comedic nature of those instances with the music at play and also just the antics in general. Really serve it well. The music in Mario Galaxy, I'd have to rewatch it again to really think about the movie. I can't because the most I can think of think about certain instances
the most
where
I can think about the music is that they were very clearly overcompensating for the fact that the first movie had like no music from the
mm,
games. They were just constantly relying on needle drops of like I need a hero and shit. It was just awful.
yeah
And so in this movie they go like the opposite direction where it's like they're in like a casino that's very clearly modeled after 3D World, but for some reason Jump Up Superstar is playing in the background
yeah
and just random pulling from random different Mario things, which is not a problem. I guess like so I guess to talk like for me to talk about this movie, I have to talk about the first movie again, which if you go back and you watch our discussion from 2023, that's what it came out, right? Yeah.
mhm,
If you go back and watch our discussion, Nan and I's discussion from that, I was pretty lukewarm on the first movie. On rewatch, I'm not as lukewarm, but I would also say that my opinion has largely remained unchanged. Where I think the most the most fascinating thing I have noticed with the reception and the reception to the reception of both of these movies is there's a lot of people who are like, well, it doesn't really have a plot, and Mario doesn't really have a plot, so I guess it makes sense. And I'm genuinely beginning to wonder if people know what the word plot means because if anything, both of these films have a lot of plot but it just none of it like amounts to anything, and it is so strange how both movies use it in lieu of just doing more Marioing. Like it's kind of funny how so much of the conversation is like like, oh well, it needs to have a more fleshed out story, or else it would just, it would just be like an hour and a half of people jumping and going wahoo and everything. But like that's kind of what I want a Mario movie to be. I don't like I think the problem with a lot of the story beats in both of these movies is that I just don't really give a shit. And not only do I not give a shit, is that I don't there's not really much of a reason to care. Like
Yeah.
there like the first movie's idea of plot is having a whole subsection of the movie being about Mario and Luigi meeting their father's like love and appreciation, and it's like, why? In a game, like in a movie based on a game where all of these fantastical things are happening, like I don't actually think you need like a super grounded, like, oh, they need to have a chat or something. It's like, why? It I like for as much as people say that these movies need a story, I really don't think so. And the thing that was so frustrating about this movie is that it actually does more Marioing than the first Super Mario Brothers movie. Like there's actually like the one of the big climaxes of the movie is like Mario and Peach on a drawbridge with Bowser on it, and he's throwing axes, and it's like that's Mario 1. There's more Mario 1 in the Mario Galaxy movie than the Mario
Yeah.
movie.
And they do a whole platforming section
And
as well too.
yeah, there's that whole section early on where it's like they're going through sort of a facsimile of the Mario world, open like overworld, and they're taking on Hammer Brothers and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that should be the whole movie. Like my idea of a Mario movie is something that, as you said, it's like they could make a Shaun the Sheep Mario movie where it's like not a single line of dialogue is really uttered as much as it's, back to back visual gags and I mean like Mario the games. Let's talk about this briefly, cuz
Hmm.
it's like Mario the games don't really have like a story, but it's also not really true. The story of Mario is told through its gameplay. It's
Right.
told through the player's ability to not only become more better and efficient at Marioing, at jumping and hopping on Goombas and everything, but it's like how that takes the player to new locales, new locations. And there was like a whole donkey clip talking that I don't even think it was like related to the Mario movie, but he was just explaining like, yeah, this is what the story of Mario is. It's how the player moves in these environments. And there was just all these QRTs that are like, well, it's a movie and you don't play a movie, so that wouldn't be very interesting in movie form. You have to have a story. And it's like they're called motion pictures. You like the foundational inspirations for Mario is, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it is like Popeye, it's Fleischer cartoons. It's literally animation. So if anything, a Mario animated movie should be able to make the most of it, and yet half this movie is still these fucking characters talking about nothing to each other. and I just and I just don't get it. And I all and in this movie it's even stranger because it's like, not that I need a Mario Galaxy movie to be a biblically accurate one-to-one movie adaptation of Mario Galaxy the game, but just like the first movie, it feels like they're not even fucking trying to to make anything that's really coherent. Not that Mario is in of itself like a super coherent world and lore and everything, but like there's this whole section in the middle of the movie where they're at like a space dock, and like the Pikmin show up, and then Star Fox shows up, and then they fly into space with Star Fox, and then they crash on a planet that's like supposed to be. They meet the dinosaur from Mario Odyssey, and Mario and Luigi are now babies, so they're
Babies.
doing like Yoshi's story for a little bit, but then Yoshi grabs the Super Scope, which is the Devo gun from the 1993 movie. Why are they? Which is the biggest vindication, by the way, for '93 Mario heads, because they keep stealing shit from that movie. If the movie's so bad, why do they keep copying ideas from it? And then it's like they have like a Yoshi Safari nod in there, and it's like, look, as the big boy gamer who's played all these things and recognize all these things, like, yeah, it is cute. It is cute to see all of these things in sequence and to see Nintendo sort of celebrating their game lineage, but we have to wait 80 minutes before they even do, like the Mario gliding over planets thing from Mario Galaxy, which is like like, not only is that in the original Mario Galaxy game, not only is that a fun gameplay mechanic, but it's also visually super interesting. And I kept getting like flashbacks to how in the first Mario movie they have this stupid like training montage sequence, and then it's like 2 seconds later they just sort of like walk through Bob-omb Battlefield for a couple seconds, and it's like not to make the same tired points about like cameos and references, but it's like they literally have so many elements to do really interesting stuff with the Mario stuff, like outside of just, yeah, this is from the game. Bob on Battlefield is effectively a tutorial level for Mario 64. It's like the perfect, it's like it's the location where the player learns to Mario in Mario 64 outside of Peach's castle. And in the movie they just walk through it. It's like, does that not seem crazy? Like, does that does that not seem like again? I don't need them to do the whole King Babam fight. I don't need them to have the whole chain chomp and everything. They don't have to literally have Mario move through the space 1-to-1 like in Mario 64. But they're just not like using any of that stuff. And in lieu of that, it's just whatever. It's not like there's a more interesting story or sequence of events being told in lieu of that. It's just like, yeah, I guess they're doing this now. Yeah, I guess Peach is now dynasty warrioring her way through like 50 enemies in a casino. Okay.
Yeah, which was cool. Like
It's kind
that
of
like
cool.
I
The animation's great. I
yeah, the
mean, like
animation's great.
Illumination is like super talented artists and animators. So there's no hatred towards the visuals of the movie, but
Yeah.
you know,
Like
it's just
Peach
doesn't
Peach
do
is
anything
probably
for me.
the best part of the film. Well, Peach and Star Fox. Fox McCloud. I don't know why I said Star Fox. I'm an idiot. Peach and Fox McCloud
John
are the
Star Fox.
yeah, yeah. Peach and Fox McCloud are the best parts of this film. Because of course it's Star Fox in a Mario movie. I mean, like if that wasn't spoiled for me, I'd be geeked about it way more than I would have. But I was like, oh, that's cool that you did that. That's very awesome. And when they introduced the Star Fox world in terms of like, oh, I went through a rift and it brought me here. But also here's a look at my world, and it's kind of a cross between 3D and 2D animation. It's like, oh, if you do a Star Fox movie, please make it look like that. That's amazing. I'm so glad I got something that I genuinely really love to see within this film. Um, and the story about the story of this movie really focuses more on Peach, and then of course like like Mario and Co are there, but it's really about the fact that Peach and Rosalina are, well, spoiler alert, they're in this movie, they're sisters.
Which is like
They've been
another thing where
separated.
again I'm like, I'm not gonna be like they have ruined the Mario lore. I am destroying my Switch as we speak, breaking it over my knee. Like, I don't think it's like a bad thing. I just don't know why. I don't know what this changes or why I care.
Yeah, like my issue with the entirety of the film is that And like you were saying, like people like, what was it about the plot that people were coming with that? Like, oh, it shouldn't have plot, or like it doesn't have enough plot or something. Um,
Yeah, or just like, oh, well, it's a movie, so it should have like a grand epic story or something. I feel like there's just a lot of people who confuse like having plot beats for having like a
or
great story or
right,
something.
yeah,
I did like w- when people were talking about the critical reaction to Mario Galaxy, and they were just like, movie critics just don't get it. They have it out for us gamers. And I was like, then why did like Sonic 2 and 3 review much, much,
well,
much better? And then someone replied along the lines of like, well, Sonic 3 adapts from Sonic Adventure, which is a very mature story that critics and gamers alike will enjoy. And it's like, A, it's not a very mature story. We have to stop pretending like Maria's death in Sonic Adventure 2 is like so drastically deep for like children's media. It's like people fucking die in children's media all the time. We don't
I
have
think it's just
to.
that she was shot with a gun that makes it mature.
Oh
That
yeah,
would,
whatever. Yeah, just because like the latest Pixar movie is like so sanitized that they can't show shit like that doesn't mean that it's like, oh man, this is heart-wrenching stuff. But it's like it is more than that. Like it's like a good story has like stakes and reasons to be
right.
invested in the story rather than just like things happen.
Yeah.
Like I saw, speaking of aftermath site, like I saw someone say like a decade ago, for some reason gamers have started confusing plot with just melodrama, where it's like anything having melodrama in it is suddenly like, oh, that's a great story, while not like considering the storytelling foundations of that. And I know someone's going to hear me say that and be like, you're thinking about it too hard. It's the Mario movie. But like, I just saw fucking Hoppers like a week before the Mario Galaxy movie. That's a movie for kids. That has a whole plot. They thought of it. Like it's not we not that the Mario Galaxy movie needs to be like Watership Down or anything in terms of like prestigious, like oh, this is gonna be an all-timer. But like, I don't know, like they can and could do more. They have like, and it doesn't have anything to do with lore, it doesn't have anything to do with world building. It's just using what they have to adapt, to just make a fucking Mario movie rather than a
Right.
movie with Mario in it.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
the because like even like we do sometimes like, oh, what's the plot of the game or what's the plot of the movie? It's like, okay, when we get into plot, it's like, oh, this happened. We're not talking, but when we talk about plot, we're not talking about, oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. We're like, no, this is what this is about, or what we perceive it to be about, and also like how it goes about telling it, and also then to a certain point how it makes us feel. Plot is like the sequencing, or at least like the how the story in terms of its core aspects unfurls. So where is our start point? Where is our rising? Where is our climax? Where's our falling? And here's a resolution. That's like the plot tree that that you learned in school. That is that. And then of course that can have as many multiple points of notoriety between the entire thing. But that is always going to be like the plot. Like we're at a certain starting point. We're gonna get to a climax that really changes or showcases like what this is like. It either changes what the I don't want to say what changes what the focus is, but it's like where the like kind of like the most important thing is about to happen, and now we need to conclude it in a way that is usually intended to be satisfying, that really makes the climax, like the main conflict, feel like it was important in the first place, so that, and then then you get the resolution, whatever that stuff. That is plot. Narrative is about how it's told. Narrative is a telling of that story. So yes, the Super Mario Galaxy movie has a lot of plot. The narrative, but did you enjoy the narrative of it? I did it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
And
yeah,
which,
because
and
there's no
because
weight to it.
yes, that's exactly why I didn't
They
like it.
these
There's no
movies
weight.
love these movies love to set up a lot of things that just don't pay off, and then it's like they're not, like, played for laughs or anything. Like, there's this whole thing about Toad not liking Yoshi, and
Doesn't
doesn't
go
go
anywhere further,
anywhere. It
really.
doesn't there's not a moment where Toad is like, "Wow, I actually like Yoshi now." It's just
Hmm.
they're just sorta well, it's just sorta like the first movie where they don't no one really interacts with each other, and it's like they want all of these, like, grounded story beats. I read there's, like sorry to hop around so much on all these different thoughts, but, like,
Hmm.
there was, there was apparently like a production note or something from the Mario Galaxy movie where they were saying like, well, we can't have Mario and Luigi fight because if they do, we know that like as brothers who love each other, they would like resolve it 15 minutes later. And it's like, but that like yeah, that 15 minutes is a chunk of 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That's part of a movie right there. Like it's
Hmm.
not like oh well like why should we have this conflict if it could be resolved, it's like that's literally
That's the
the
whole
whole
point of
reason,
having
yeah,
a
it's the whole
conflict.
reason to put some, like a story in a movie. And it's like again it's like the counter argument to this is that like they don't actually have to fill these movies full of like oh I wonder where come from and everything. It's like I don't really give a shit, just
Yeah. And it
fight a
doesn't,
piranha
the
plant,
way
you
they
know, like
convey
I
it, it
don't,
doesn't make me feel like that I'm supposed to care either because this is a, what, 2 hour movie, actually? Or something like that?
it's like 90-ish minutes.
Hold Mario Galaxy movie runtime.
I know it's
Oh,
longer
it's
than the
98
first
minutes. It is
one.
98 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. All right. I thought it was 2 hours for some reason. It feels like it's 50 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Which the
Um,
first movie also felt that way too. It just
when
like felt like a half an hour.
there are two big pieces that this movie is about. It is the fact that Peach and Rosalina are sisters, and how they, of course, they discovered that, or mostly how Peach discovered that because Rosalina has been captured, and then Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s father-son relationship. Because, and I'll start with the Bowser one first, even though it's not the first one, the first like part of the conflict introduced in the film. Of course, Bowser's a villain, and as people who have played the games, or even me who has not played much of the games, I know that the idea is supposed to be that okay, Bowser is Bowser Jr.'s dad. All right, in the film, the way they make the relationship is that Bowser, of course, after the events of Mario 1, and he's like, rehabilitation in his in his little fortress castle or whatever. He learns that your father's looking for you. They learn that Bowser Jr. is looking for Bowser, and it's like, what? He's looking for me? Gosh, I could have been such a better dad. And we don't really see him not being a good dad, and not the idea is supposed to be, oh, I was so focused on trying to conquer that I didn't really have enough time for my dad. I mean, I didn't have enough time for my son. But then they give us an entire flashback sequence of Bowser being a great father to his kid by telling him a bedtime story in the form of a completely reenacted puppet show, and about the dream of, hey, one day we're gonna have our own planet that is a Bowser, like basically a Bowser planet where we have like a huge giant laser cannon and we want to destroy another world or something like that. And of course Bowser Jr. goes to do that, and he comes to find his father, and then bring him back to that planet so that they can rule the world. That's nothing of being a bad dad. All you show me was that, oh, he really impacted his child. He really impacted his child. His son loved him, and his son loved him so much that he literally created their dream scenario off screen and wanted to bring him back to it. Now, the second aspect of that is supposed to be, oh, well, since Bowser has been with the Mario gang and wanted to earn their trust, he started to question, is it really worth it to be a bad guy if I still want the love of my son? Which they don't really get too far into that in the first place, because and I don't want to say that they don't do it at all, because they surely have they literally have Bowser contemplate, hey, maybe you shouldn't kill them. Maybe just instead like turn them into babies. Do that instead. Don't kill them. Or maybe like he's worried that Bowser Jr. will kill him and will kill them, and then instead it turns out that it's actually a gun that turns them into babies. Then he's like, whew, thank goodness. It's like, okay, that's interesting. The other problem is that when we get to the point where Bowser's like, oh, I'm gonna be on the same team as you guys, the next scene that we see of those characters is them meeting the Honeybee Queen, and then Bowser gives himself up so that way the Honeybee Queen doesn't enslave Mario and the gang to work in her coal mines or whatever, or her honey nectar mines or whatever. And then Bowser gets captured by his son. As in, like, Bowser Jr. finally finds his dad here, and then now he's in Bowser Jr.'s ship. We don't really get to experience Bowser being a good guy. He thinks about it. He does something convenient for the sake of the story. But that's not him being a good guy, really. That's it. Like, that's just really the thought of it. And I know for some people that's like enough. For me, it's not enough, because it feels like as soon as you set something up, you kind of already resolved it. And going to now the Peach and Rosalina's sister story, the idea is supposed to be that, oh, you know, they kind of, it's Peach's birthday at the start of the movie, and so she's sitting on top of the roof looking at the stars and like, where am I from, basically. And it kind of feels like, okay, it feels a little bit out of nowhere for that to be on her mind, but you know, okay, that, like, I'm gonna put that aspect aside, because I'm just gonna put that part aside. You have to start from somewhere to start that way with what she's thinking about. Okay, we get to a point later within the film, because there is a in the prologue, as in like when in the intro of the film, Rosalina telling the story about is reading a book to her Lumas, and the story is supposed to be about, you know, Peach, but the Lumas want to hear about the cool Mario Brothers. So the idea is already set that there's something important to Peach. It kind of feels like Peach just suddenly feels like there is something important about her, in a sense. Not that like, oh, she shouldn't be thinking about where she came from, because the idea is that she just kind of appeared. But it's just the way that it's introduced just feels kind of like, oh, we have to introduce this right now. And then when they get to the point where she discovers it, because they eventually end up at the observatory with the help of a Luma that guides them there, and she reads the storybook or touches the storybook or something like that, she immediately remembers it all. Or she begins to remember the fact that, oh yeah, me and Rosalina are sisters, or I had a sister. But the scene itself, in terms of how it's directed, as soon as she realizes it, we cut to the next scene. And it's like, whoa, why didn't you give the viewer, your audience, the time to, like, even if it's like, oh yeah, it's pretty quickly understood, the process of that within the characters' minds, or like within the current environment that they're in, like there's no tonal change. It is not, oh, I just discovered that I might be related to Rosalina. It's no, oh my gosh, and then scene cut to okay, we're somewhere else now, to completely different characters. It's like, what? Nothing marinates, because it is complete. It has plot, yes, but it is going by that plot beat by beat by beat. It's not allowing the narrative to flourish into something that is enjoyable to watch, which is why it feels, even despite being 98 minutes long, it feels like it's only 50 minutes long, or even shorter to me. It feels like a TV special. Where is the substance of watching a film? It's not here in its writing, and it's barely here, like, to me, it's barely here in the way that it's directed, in terms of holding a scene to keep the viewer's interest. We have to go beat from beat. We can't just have it be, it can't have substance with it as well. And machine translated quote from an interview that Miyamoto did with Nintendo Dream. So this one is machine translated by Nintendo Everything. And it says another approach to create things usual is using small partial units. For example, 30 units of 3 minutes makes up 90 minutes. And it's very similar to my own method. I don't make anything unnecessary, but I hardly throw anything away either. So Illumination's technique involves a lot of swapping and rearranging of those units, creating something with incredible density. Another thing is, for example, parents sitting there out of sense of responsibility for taking their children to the movie theater, or a story that's moving for the parents but the children are running around the theater. I've always wanted to make a movie that isn't like that, so in that sense, I think it was good that we decided to make it a fast-paced 90 minutes that would be over in no time to catch your breath. I don't.
Yeah,
That's.
it's bleak.
It's. Something can be fast-paced, but still have substance to it.
Well, it's like, not to be like, I know it's always kind of hackney when people are like, well, this is like the best movie ever and it does this, so why didn't they do that? But like literally last night, me and my friends, we watched the new 4K UHD of Alice in Wonderland, the classic Disney
Mm-hmm.
film, and it's like that movie is an hour and 15 minutes long, has a beginning, middle, and end, and crazy shit is always happening in it at any given moment. Like it is you know no fat, no, like it never stops for a moment, and it's wondrous. And it's like, not that every movie, not that the Mario movie has to follow specifically, that guideline, but like the world and the worlds of Mario and everything are so interesting that it's like whenever the film tries to ground itself, it does bring things to like not only a screeching halt, but like clearly also what is happening is so like fantastical and everything that it's like it's really unclear why we are meant to be super vested in these characters who are seemingly able to do like literally anything. You know what I mean? Like there's not like, not to be like, that wouldn't happen, but it's like Mario and Luigi are like dudes from Brooklyn and they can walk through space without a space helmet. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like whenever they try to ground it by introducing some melodrama, it feels like it's always curbed by the fact that everything else in the film doesn't really adhere to anything. And as a Mario fan, it feels a little more disappointing because it's like even the stuff where they are trying to be like, all right, well, let's do some goddamn Marioing. Let's have them jump, let's have them collect power-ups, they do a whole Mario Maker sequence, which is cute. But then it's like, and then Game and Watch shows up, and then it's like, oh, okay, they're just doing anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like it does feel kind of weirdly slapped together. It just like there's just a lot of ideas in here that don't coalesce into anything super intriguing, or like everyone's always using the word fun. Ah, the movie's just meant to be fun. You're not meant to be thinking about these things. But like that's our whole fucking blockbuster industry in movies right now, or movies left and right are all about being, like fun over having like a super, like deep, like metaphorical narrative. So like why do they have such a problem with doing it? It feels like it especially feels kind of maddening when like I was even, I was saying like, yeah, my ideal Mario movie would be like, Fleischer cartoon throwbacks, or even like, like Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, like visual gags and stuff, like doing, using the locations and worlds of Mario, like in the games, to create, like sequence of funny like bits and gags to go off of. Like it's funny how this movie's idea of humor is all like talking. It's all like characters saying funny things rather than like funny actions occurring.
Mm,
And then and it's like maybe, it's like maybe that is the schmoove for making kids movies nowadays, but the fucking next Minions movie they're making is like a Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton throwback. So I don't know what is going on there.
yeah,
If the Minions movie can be weirdly more inspired than the Mario movie, um and again, I know there might be some people who hear this and be like, "Oh, you're taking it too seriously," or like one thing I've been seeing a lot of is that it's like, well, Nintendo is not setting out to make these movies to make high art, which is like fair. Like that
yeah.
I think that is fair to say. They are doing these things for like brand synergy over, like, oh, let's make a truly great Mario movie. But even that feels kind of shaky to me because like Mario the game series is like prestigious, like Mario Kart World is an $80 video game. Mario Tennis Fever is a $70 video game. And like a lot of these critics who were bashing the movie were all recognizing Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 as being like not just good games but all-time great video games, like some of the best ever. So it is so strange that so many's like so like the perception and expectation for this movie is that, well, yeah, they can do whatever, it doesn't really matter. And it's just like it does feel like they just made something that's kind of impossible to not be apathetic towards. If everyone is also being apathetic towards it, but just under the veil of like, well, I had fun and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Which if you did, like,
Good, yeah, good for you,
cool,
I
but
guess.
like don't get upset when people think that they want a little more substance from something like this.
I I was gonna say something. Just kind of forgot what. But
And for the record, I've watched a lot of movies this year. In fact, I posted in the stream channel my epic 2026 movie power ranking. So if you want to put that on screen for a second
yeah,
to
where's that
show,
at?
it's in the stream channel.
Got you.
If I I I I rarely use my letterbox these days because I'm an idiot, but I love doing these best to worst lists in my notes app every year. So if you want to see my movie liking credentials, here you go.
Let's
Here's,
see.
there
We
it
got
is. Read it and
best
weep. It's
best
not
28
even a
years later, The Bone Temple.
the
Nirvana, The Band, The
Bone
Show, The Movie,
Temple.
Second Life, Epic, Elvis Presley concert, Send Help, The Stranger, Hokum, The Drama, Project Hail Mary, Mother Mary, Man on the Run, Pizza Move.
Pizza
Pizza
movie's
movie.
good. I love Britannic. I love
I don't even know what this is about. I just think it's really funny that people are talking about it. It's like as if it's like it sucks or something. And I was like, I have no idea what this is
yeah,
about.
it's
Sure.
just funny. It's just a funny ass
Over
movie.
Your Dead Body, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, Hoppers, Scarlet, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, The Bride, The Moment, and Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And this is from
Lee
best
Cronin's
to
The Mummy
worst.
sucks shit, by the way. What an awful film. But yeah, it's
Oh,
it's not at the bottom of the list. In fact, I should probably clarify that like the someone was like, what's like the divider between I like it and I don't like it, and it probably would be between Scarlet and Mario Galaxy movie.
mm,
um but yeah, I mean, I can talk about every movie above it at length and the things that are cool and neat and great, and Galaxy just didn't do anything for me
mm.
in regards to anything really. It's
Um,
not the worst, but it's also not really trying to be anything but just kind of whatever.
yeah, it's like I just remember what I was gonna say. It's like finding the difference between something being cool and being told that it's cool. When
Yeah.
when I'm watching, like, I'll use Turning Red for example, right? When I see just the immediately the way that world opens up with music that I've kind of never, like a fusion of music that I've never really heard before. Um, the main May is introducing herself, and here, okay, we're back in the 2000s. Here's what the characters are talking about. The world is vibrant. The way that everything is, I immediately think, oh, that's awesome. That's I would have never kind of pictured something either looking that way, or the fact that even the way that they decide to do it, or with how they decide to tell the story is just very interesting the entire way through. With Mario, being a video game adaptation, you're already bought into it, most likely, because there is a basis there already. It's based on Super Mario Brothers Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy, but Super Mario Brothers, the universe of Super Mario, and thus you already think that these things are cool. But for me, as somebody who's not, I'm not a Mario fan really. I played some Mario games, but like Mario Brothers, Mario 2 USA. I play a lot of Mario Kart, so like for me, this is essentially the instance of, okay, I'm not really familiar with this type of stuff. Here's my introductory kind of into the concepts that would be displayed or set up within Galaxy. If I was watching, if the movie was one to one with the game, it's not. So really, okay, in general, introduce me to this world and get me interested, right?
Yeah, I
And the most cool thing from this film, like there is some stuff that I think is like, oh, that's cool, that's kind of cool, where it's like the space, not the space station, but like the essential, like the galaxy traffic thing that they have, where Rob is the clerk that works there. I think the aspect of like, oh, here's a little area where people actually have to get permission or need to find a person to fly them to different galaxies. I think that actually is conceptually cool. Like the fact that you put thought into the fact that here's this aspect of how the world works. You can't just go somewhere. You need help with going somewhere. Okay, fantastic. I genuinely actually like that. But then there's other parts of it, like, but when the film wants to be like, okay, here's an important thing. Here's like the actual important thing happening. Bowser Jr., Mario and Luigi are fighting Bowser Jr. And they're fighting, and there's a slow motion effect. It's like, oh, this just happened. It's like, I know it just happened. I'm watching it. I don't need a slow down effect. Just please don't waste my time with a slow down effect or something that, like, the fact that they're fighting in the first place is already cool. You're setting things up within the fight of like, oh, here's what Mario needs to think about. Bowser Jr. clearly already has the upper hand. Luigi can fight back some, while Mario's is kind of like down and out and trying to escape a little bit. It's like, okay, focus on that. They do it again later in the film. It's like, I don't need a slow down effect for this thing that's happening. I'm seeing it happen. Please move forward. I don't need to be told that it's cool. I could see that it's cool. You let the actions unfurl, I will just think that it's cool. Please allow for that to continue happening. And I just cannot stand. It's not like I have an issue with slow mo effects in general. It's just specifically within this film, it made me just think like, I'm already watching. I don't need to be.
well, no,
I don't need it to be highlighted for me.
for some reason, Illumination thinks slow mo is like the funniest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like in all of their movies is like
Yeah.
whenever they want to emphasize something being funny, they're like,
Mhm.
let's slow it down too.
Right. And like, for instance, something later that happens, like, Game & Watch, when there's a point where Bowser dies, right, in the film. We've said so much at the point where we might as well just like talk completely about it. So there's a point where Bowser falls into lava. He comes back out and he becomes Dry Bowser. And Bowser Jr. this entire film has been fighting with the paintbrush that's from Mario Galaxy. And it also helps him turn into his Wonder form from Super Mario Wonder. Okay. There's a point where Luigi gets a hand of the wand when they're fighting. And the way that Junior uses the wand, the brush, is that like you draw something on the ground and it comes to life or it affects something. It's like it'll affect himself. Luigi gets it. He tries to draw something and it just makes a complete nonsense of a drawing, but it ends up turning into Game and Watch. That is weird. And because that is weird,
yeah.
there's not really an aspect of why that happened. Like it could be just assumed that Luigi drew something and it ended up looking like this, and thus this thing came to life. We know it's Game and Watch. They have no idea what it is, and thus that makes it very interesting. That happening is just naturally interesting because it is so strange. It's not in the same way that they introduced Fox into this world. They integrated him into the world with an actual explanation, and that explanation still is very cool. It's interesting, and I would like to see more of that. By which if they do Star Fox movie. But the Game and Watch one comes out of nowhere, and of course to them it is completely out of their world, or in a sense that it is just, we have no idea what this is, and they're literally like, "Hey Luigi, what did you do? What is this? You couldn't have drawn better." Like that's the way they treat it, and it's funny, it's cool because then Game and Watch goes ahead and starts fighting on his own, and it's like, oh, I like the focus already was the fact that this thing was happening, and thus I was immediately intrigued by it. You didn't need to highlight it further of the fact that, oh, this is what's happening, and that's. And I wish the film was kind of just let things happen. Of course, nothing happened better, but because the narrative still sucks. But at least when something does happen, it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's pretty cool actually. I wish the entire movie was just like of that happening, of me thinking that, oh, this thing is cool, rather than, oh, here's Mario and Luigi doing a whole bunch of tasks while Peach is gone and she's gone to space, and some of them are nods to the Mario games, or when Peach and Mario and Peach fall down after the axe breaks the bridge. But oh wait, no, that happened before. They end up in some like basically like a dungeon for they have to like traverse through all the fire bars and stuff, like a Mario Maker level. I get what it's referencing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yes, it's here because it's Mario, and because it's here that it's being Mario, but also we're now specifically focusing on it at this time. Something about that does inherit, even if it's not like with anything like slow-mo effects, something about that does feel less inherently cool in a sense. The fact that, okay, hey, wait, now is the time for some Mario stuff that you know and love. It's kind of like,
Yeah, they
well,
love to
this
really
entire
kind
movie
of.
is supposed to be a Mario movie.
Yeah, it's weird how much they just like don't ever really want to savor any of the Mario stuff. It's like they don't they don't want to make the whole movie Marioing. It's just like
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, like things like Game and Watch show up feel more rewarding as a thing you recognize than, because it's like, again, I don't need a literal explanation as to why Game and Watch shows up. I don't think it would really,
Do anything.
yeah, I don't think it really do anything for me. And also, like, it's not, I don't need anything in this world to have like a super logical explanation, but it does feel like it comes more from a place of like, oh, I recognize that thing more
Mm-hmm.
than, oh wow, they really managed to work Game and Watch into a Mario movie because he's gone like 2 seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
They basically just use him or it
To fight.
to final smash, and then they move on from that, which I guess is, I mean, like, yeah, I guess they will make a Smash Brothers movie at some point. I don't like if they're
We-
if they're all if they're already making these Mario movies like they're like Avengers films where characters just kind of show up and briefly talk to each other about bullshit before like a big, big epic bacon climax anyway, then like they're already like kind of setting up what a Smash movie would look like
I
and
think
how
it's
it would like function.
see. I don't know about that because also from that Nintendo Dream interview, I'm paraphrasing, but and it's I believe it was also either machine translated or somebody actually did translate it, and I'm just trying to remember what I said. But it was more like when we are conceiving this, when we were conceiving the film, we kind of wanted it to follow this story. But as we're going through that story, we think about, okay, at this point, what can any Mario characters do? What it is that we wanted to happen? So like needing to travel through space. Is there anybody who could actually be a guide for Mario and Co to actually travel through space? There isn't. Okay, well then let's pull Star Fox in. He's part of the Nintendo troupe of characters. So now let's introduce him into it. That way, it allows for it. Basically, like he's a person with this skill set. Let's utilize that skill set within this world. And then they made a reason why he's there. So it's not like he just happens to come up out of nowhere in a sense. I think for a Smash Brothers movie. Well, first off, the concept of Smash Brothers is the fact that these are toys that a kid is playing with, and then he's making them fight. And thus, I think with the fact that that is what Smash Brothers is, even if it might not always seem like that on the surface, that really is that is what it is. And also within the last trailer, we know the story trailer, it harkens back to that with the fact that they all turn into trophies. And statues in the same way that in Melee the Mario trophy is tossed into and then it comes to life. Smash Brothers is about the fact that these characters are fighting one another, or at least fighting a entity of evil, with something like Subspace Emissary and World of Light. But because the Mario films are here is the world of Mario, it is harder for me to kind of see them like want to portray it in that way, because Smash Brothers in concept is specifically, here is the reason why these characters are able to fight one another. It's because they're toys.
I just don't think any of these things are like precious, if that makes sense. Like I like, obviously they have an official explanation as to why, like, oh, well, the next movie couldn't be a Smash movie because technically it exists in a different universe slash context than the Mario movies. But like, I feel like this movie screams that, like, I don't know, they could just go back on that at any time. It's not.
Oh, I mean, like if they want to do a
You know what
specific
I mean? Like, it's
own
not.
Smash Brothers movie is its own thing, sure. I don't like. I guess in the aspect of, is Mario movie connected to the Smash Brothers movie? I feel like that. I don't know if they would do that.
It's already this like weird thing where it's like, you know, I, is the Mario movie canon to the games? Do I even care if it's canon to the games? You know what I mean?
No
Like,
idea, not really.
it's like the same thing with like I guess they are canonizing Peach and Rosalina being sisters, but like,
I still don't understand.
okay,
I don't understand. So yeah, okay, so context for that. Super Mario Galaxy 2 got updated recently to add a new chapter to the storybook, which is in general very strange. We've updated this decade-old game to with new story out of the blue. But in terms of the context of the story, I don't actually know. Like I watched it. I don't. It does nothing about it. I think is. I don't think anything about it from people who knew better were like completely like, oh, this is about specifically Peach and Rosalina. It didn't seem like it was completely sure, or maybe like I'm just not understanding it. Maybe I'm dumb, but it seemed like it was about something, but it's not necessarily about them two being sisters, like on the surface. So I still have no idea if it's supposed to be like, oh, the Mario movies are canon, or we're going to take aspects and make them canon within the world now of Super Mario
I
Bros.
think there is
the
a
games.
direct quote about saying going forward that Peach and Rosalina are sisters, but like, again, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it will add to any. You know what I mean? It's not like
Oh,
it's not like going forward this will like change anything about how they make the next 2D Mario or something. Like, it's set dressing. It's like window dressing at that point.
right.
So that's where I'm more so coming from. It's just that, like, I don't know, they could, as as much as they have bullshitted a way to make two Mario movies where they made a Mario 1 movie that's not really about Mario 1 in any sort of way, and they made a Mario Galaxy movie that really isn't about Mario Galaxy in any sort of way,
Excuse me.
then I mean, like making a Smash Brothers movie, which is already something that doesn't really have like a coherent like story or need for one,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I mean, if they're shoving Game and Watch and Pikmin and Star Fox and Rob and like the Little Mac and Doc Lewis run past the screen at one
Yeah,
point.
that
It's
did
like if
happen
they're
too.
doing
Yeah.
all that, and they're doing that just in the Mario movie with no, backing as to why other than yeah, it's cute, whatever, which is fine. Then
Right.
like yeah, I don't the concept of them doing a Smash movie where like I don't know, they are just fighting now. They'll have some convoluted reason. Or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
they will
fair.
all be toys. Who knows?
Yeah.
I
It could just be completely its own thing too.
yeah, could just
Hmm.
happen.
Yeah.
That's just sort of where I'm at. And it'll make $1 trillion.
All right.
Oh,
We've been here for a while. I think we talked about Pragmata longer than we talked about Mario Galaxy. I
that's
think.
fine.
But that's fine. Yeah. Um.
Especially when we don't have like we don't have like
Positive.
Nan here to be like, well, I liked it. So we don't really have a conflicting view. We're just both sort of like, yeah, it
Yeah.
stinks.
Yeah, this movie sucked. And if I'm gonna go see a movie, why would I want to? I don't want to pay money to see a movie that sucks. Come on.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
The IMAX ticket is like 1/5 of Mario Kart World,
Jeez.
like
Gosh.
that's why we're getting 1/5 of the quality, I guess.
All
Maybe
right.
that's how they dole it out.
You gotta see it 5 more times, and then you will actually unlock the quality of the film. How? There's
I
more
saw a
money somewhere
tweet
stuck
from
that.
there's that one Twitter account called Mario Tweet Confessions. I'm like fully convinced everyone who submits stuff to that is just like lying or
What
just
did
like
what did you see that makes you say
submitting
that?
submitting bait. Because I saw someone that was like the Mario Galaxy movie like opened my eyes to what animation could do, and it's like no, it fucking didn't. No, it's
That
just
means you've seen very little animated films.
yeah, yeah. It's like no, you fucking haven't.
Go watch Kubo
It's
and the
not
Two
true.
Strings. How about the go watch Kubo, go watch Paranorman, go watch like go watch Shaun the Sheep. Yeah, go watch Shaun the Sheep too.
Yeah, you could just watch like the
Like
bad guys too.
like
This is
they're
like
yeah.
doing much more.
Yeah, like you need to see more animated films if that's the case, because that wow that
Yeah, I think it's just bait. I don't.
either that's bait or you're a really young person
Yeah,
with
or
a Twitter
like
account.
14 or something.
Yeah, which is like that's even at 14, I'm like I'm already stupefied by animation so early. That's like that means that you have not been allowed to watch like SpongeBob, which that is
I
true.
really
There are
like.
kids that are like that. Their parents do not allow
Yeah,
them to watch
yeah.
animated stuff. So it's like okay.
It's like I don't want to dunk on the animation as cinema heads. That ongoing joke of like
Mhm.
people who love animation but don't watch anything but like DreamWorks and Pixar and Illumination or whatever. But
Right.
like those folks do exist.
Yeah.
Watch a Ghibli, watch a Bakshi, watch like Fantastic Planet or something.
Just watch anything.
Yeah, just
Like
anything.
I also like part of like I know that it's about animation and cinema, so we're talking about film, but I it's just like there's so much animation out there in the world. Like when an animated movie is not coming out, there's an animated series that you could be watching. They're indie or not, or like completely like 20 years old. Like I'm watching like my bad 7 different anime right now with my sister, and it's like you come on, like you if you There is so much animation out there for you to experience. Mario Galaxy is the one that opened your eyes. Really?
It really is
Are
like
you
the
sure?
the 3 movies a crowd, 3 movies a year crowd.
Gosh, heck, play a video game. Video games literally have animation in them.
Yeah.
That can't be right. How did Mario Galaxy open your eyes to what animation could be when there's Mario games that are animated? Like all Mario games are animated. Actually, I can't that like what I just said doesn't even make sense. All Mario games are
Yeah,
animated.
yeah.
Like
Like, it's kinda part of my point too, like, it feels very redundant when it's like, "Oh, they made this, like, beautifully animated Mario movie, but everything in it kinda sucks," and it's like, well, like, all the games are, like, beautifully animated, and they're also very good, like
yeah.
like like, generational examples of good video games, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
Uh, Nano said, Huff has been trying to get to watch movies, and I think because of that, I've done more movies than games this year, even if I'm half awake and cold during some of them. And then Weeb Slave said, watch Castle of Cagliostro. I will look that up because I do not know
oh my god.
what that is. That name sounds very familiar though.
I'm
Oh,
not even a loop
Lupin.
on the I was
Lupin.
gonna say I'm
Okay.
not even a loop on the
Okay.
third head, and I know that's a Lupin
See,
movie.
if you said Lupin, Castle of Cagliostro, I would of course know it was a Lupin because it says a Lupin. But if you say Castle of Cagliostro, I'm like, okay, well I understand. Okay, we're talking about animated films. I know it's something animated, but I have no idea what specifically it is. Um, freaking what's the I forgot, was it? Is it like Virgin Teen something? Virgin Teen Punk or I think I might have just
Are
completely
you talking
got the
about
title.
the thing
The one by
by,
the kite creator.
the kite yeah, Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl?
Yeah, that. I still have to watch
Yeah.
that. I still have to watch Kite. there's so
You don't
much
have to watch
there's so much out there in the world. Which yeah, this you're hearing us talk about Kite on a Source Gaming Game Running Source Gaming podcast. Uh
If I talked about all the movies I watched this year on a GMSG, people would be like, "What the fuck are you doing with your time?"
yeah, I don't think I've watched too many films this year. Was Alien this year or last year? It feels like it's been a
I don't know,
while.
but you're wrong. That's
I thought Alien was just fine.
Your
I could,
letterbox review is like, why does Wayland Yutani think they can capture the alien? Are they stupid? And it's like, yes, that's the thorough line of the whole movie.
I didn't say that specifically. I'm pretty sure that's not what I said. You're making me sound like an idiot. Hold on, I'll get what I said. Hold on, wait a minute.
No,
Wait,
no, we're not hashing this out.
No,
We're not having
no.
We'll be here for another 3 hours. But also talking about Alien would be a lot
Hold
more
on, wait.
interesting
That's
than
okay.
talking-
I forgot what I wrote, but that's like that what you just said is like a sentence where I wrote 4 paragraphs. I completely forgot that I did that.
Sigh.
Yeah, here's I'll link my I could link my review of
Yeah. Just link
of
it. Yeah.
Alien.
Just link both of our
Be funny.
letterboxes.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Here's
Even if
here's
I
my letterbox.
barely
Here's
post, people can be like, "Wow, I love this guy who hates the Mario movie but loves, let's see, what's like the last movie I gave like 5 stars to? Miss 45. Oh, what a
Nirvana, the band,
banger.
the show, the movie.
Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, Kiki's Delivery Service. Oh, now that's a great animated movie. Kiki's Delivery Service. All-timer.
There we go.
There you go. There you go, gamers. Now
Uh,
you can you can you can you can review bomb my when I get around to logging Monster Hunter 2020, you can all review bomb me.
You I should really, I need to like really look at my letterbox, and I probably just watch a whole bunch of movies that I've seen, like just again, you know, new perspective, but also I haven't seen some of these films in a long time. And say for
Mhm.
instance, like, oh, like granted, I love Incredibles. Would I still have Incredibles as my top four favorite films? I'm not completely sure anymore because I've seen a lot of stuff that I also really, really love. But and like Spider-Man
You
and
never
Into the
know.
Spider-Verse, like that's there. Of course, I love that film. Fantastic. Like it's very, I can go back and watch it anytime I want to and still love it as much as that first time. I don't know if I would put that as like my top, like, because I think Speed Racer I probably would put up here maybe as a favorite film, but also four is really limiting. Four is like very limiting. There's different reasons why I love films
That's
like
why there's
seven.
like people who cycle it out every like month.
Oh, that's a good point. See, hmm, that's actually a really good point, huh? I should probably do something. Oh, I guess you could also make a list too. That's true. I can make a, because I'm looking at the page and like what, how would you even be able to showcase like what your top films are, and it's like, oh wait, there's a list right here of like, oh, here's my top films you could do. So I should probably do something like
Yeah, I'm
that.
pretty sure I have like a top 10 list or something. I
Let's see.
never use lists on here. Yeah, I just have the favorites.
Yeah, I see it right here. Yeah.
Any
Manhood.
Koyanosakatsi heads in the chat? Any?
Okay. I haven't eaten breakfast. I'm just eating
Yeah, yeah.
crackers,
I need to
so
like
I'm
stand up
really
and eat a
hungry now.
Reuben.
So we're gonna call it here.
Yep.
Thank you all so much. Whoops, wrong one.
To us, bitch.
Yeah.
For the past like hour,
But
3 hours, however long this
you
is.
got to hear us talk about the game that we really love, Pragmata, so far.
Yeah.
So there's always good that comes with the bad. um, Thank you all so much for watching. If you of course like the video, like it. If you've and if you haven't been subscribed before, but you somehow ended up here, please subscribe so for not just future videos but also future live streams that we do, such as GMSG. Um, for the roster stream, the next roster stream, just want to give an update on that, and I also share it as a text post on our YouTube channel. Um, so one of our members that for the team is currently back, as in like they're finished with they were finished celebrating their birthday, so now they're back to do stream. However, Slink is currently busy, so for the first 2 weeks of May, we won't have the roster stream, either the week after that or just sometime after the first 2 weeks, whether that be then like the third week of May or just any some point, but still within May. We are trying to aim for it just still within May. So just know that for the next two what, and I guess more to say full 2 weeks. So don't expect a stream until after a roster stream until after maybe May 17th or May 16th. That's about as much as like I can give like a rough estimate of to when it won't be, but when it could still be within the time period of May. So that's really it. Other than that, yeah, make sure you check out the Source Gaming website as always, because we are constantly having new articles posted. Kind of like at least maybe twice a week, or maybe
I
sometimes
was
just
gonna
once a
say
week.
our
But still,
site is
we're
like
pretty
I
active. Our
know
site
I
has been very
know
active lately.
I know we gotta convince everyone to read, but I think our website is actually like drastically more active than our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So if you do like our takes
Yes.
and you'd rather read them than listen to us, then like please check out the website.
Mm-hmm. Hamada, Cartboy, and sorry, Wolfman. And even Snazzy did a review of Final Fantasy Tactics. Everybody's been pretty busy, mostly on the website side as of lately. But the Pragmata review will be a video. It will be a video and an article, so you will see a. Oh, not yeah, that's right. Nano also wrote an article. I will link that in here too. Where is? How did I just lose the tab? I was just here. There we go. Where is it? Where is it? That. How many pages I have to scroll for this? Here it is. Here it is. Got it. Yeah. I don't know if I can say like this has been our busiest the busiest year so far on the website. It feels like it though, but also we're always busy on the website. So
Hmm.
but I know that like maybe this time around, I feel like I've played more in terms of like, oh, here's some articles that are on the website, and then of course there's also some writing stuff that I'm doing in the background that is not going to come out for a long while, but that me and Wolfman are both working on together. So I think that might be the first time I've mentioned it on the on GMSG, but we are, yes, there is something that me and Wolfman are working on for Source Gaming that is going to take a while to come out, but we are working on it, and I would be very happy once you guys do get the chance to check it out, and also maybe I'll even share a little bit of it when it is a more presentable state. But other than
I think
that,
that's it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna play the end card now. So thank you all so much for watching. It was great to do this again. Um, but yeah, we gotta go. We're hitting the 3 hour mark. So like I said earlier, please like the video, subscribe if you weren't already, and I don't know if you can hype live streams or at least live streams after they already happened, but if you can, hype the video if you're on mobile, so that way it can be shared with more people on the platform. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Yeah, good night, Source Gaming. Goodbye.